entire world.
With the exception of Link's house, of course.
And the back of tavern, but, small details.
Yeah, exactly. So first couple chests up at Open, we found a heart container, and in the back of Sanctuary, a key to Misery Mire. That's what we start with today, and Ultyma is off to see the king, apparently, who was not home.
And getting to the back of Sanctuary is going to be a little interesting, considering it is the Ganon drop this time.
That is very interesting. Wow, what a location. We're getting our check of the pyramid already. We see a map over there. That will give us, by the way, the maps will give us information on crystals and pendants. That information is not just found on the map. Of course, that was not going to give us any information. So Frostbite, already tired of being a fish, and heads into the light world via Link's house, and is going to start picking up items there.
But being a fish is so fun.
Yeah, preferably with water.
Well, yes.
So another map was located in the Ice Rod Cave, which is the map to Desert Palace.
Yep, those maps are going to be nice to have early so we can get a little bit of idea of what dungeons are valuable. But we don't even know where those dungeons are yet, so...
Ultyma about to be surprised as he turns into a monochrome bunny.
The snazziest of buns, just in time for Easter.
Mm-hmm. By the way, happy Easter to anyone who does celebrate it. We are going into that weekend this weekend.
Yep, as Frostbite is going into Kakariko, having farmed a couple of those 50-50 bombs. Don't know if we'll need any bombs throughout Kakariko, but it's a nice habit to have, and certainly there's a fair chance.
Now, if we find places like the back of Blind's hut or the well, we're going to want to have bombs to open up in there anyway. So having the bombs is usually a good idea. We're going to see what's on the race game, but the runners, of course, can't get it yet. This will just be information in case they come out the door later. It's a heart container.
Yeah, no big deal. No rush to get back there.
They may never even get back there.
Yep, that is one of the more annoying mirror spots that you get with Entrance Randomizer, because you can't just go through the house and get to the race game. You got to figure out how to get there with the mirror, and then maybe that door leads to somewhere really important.
If you mirror into the race game, they don't like it either. Unless you can mirror right to that doorstep. So Ultyma is already taking his bunny self around the Palace of Darkness area. I wonder what he's doing over here.
Well, we know the tavern is Ice Palace. Certainly there's some joke about some frosty refreshment.
Oh, look where the back of Turtle Rock is today.
Ooh, ain't that a show?
He's going to take a death here, and the reason he's doing that is because when you die inside of a dungeon, you get respawned as your regular self, which means that he's going to now be able to go in as Link and try to do some walking and pick up some chests if he can, dealing with the beetle the entire time. And takes a death. Just not enough health to really do this. No safeties yet.
It's a bit tricky.
And Frostbite, meanwhile, picking up the Turtle Rock Big Key in the back of Skull Woods. I did not see where that was, so I'll have to see where he comes out late. Oh, no, he's just taking a death. He's probably going back to the front of the dungeon and leaving. Can't
certainly one of the Kakariko houses. The bombable hut. Again, a good thing they farm bombs.
Ultyma is still fighting to get the items on Laser Bridge. Anything on Laser Bridge, it's a sequence break because he's not supposed to be here yet. But he could find something very, very interesting here if he can manage to somehow slip in there, which is not happening because he's having a hard time.
Yeah, again, 4 hearts, green mail, no safeties. Little tough. Also, not even like a sword or anything.
Yeah, he's got nothing to even get the beetle out of the way. The beetle's just going to haunt him. We found Tower of Hera.
Yep.
And Ultyma finally does a save and quit and says, I've had enough of this. That's one way to pull the switch.
Getting a small key to Ice Palace.
Drop another bomb, see what's going on over here on this side. Hint tiles are rather pointless in this mode.
Yeah, they're not updated for the robust information. And we find another entrance to T-Rock over in the light world, what I call the boardwalk area.
That's the front entrance. Now you'll notice we still track the entrance medallions for Misery Mire and Turtle Rock. The reason for that is to track their entrance locations, because they obviously go to areas themselves. But we don't know what they are. We still track what the medallions are if you want to get into whatever those locations are. And goodness, you never know if you're going to walk into one of those and it's the backup Lion's Hut and you need something for Turtle Rock in there, something along those lines.
And we find the Thieves' Hideout at Magic Bat, so this will be Hammerlocked or Gloves and Mirror. But for a piece of heart, meh.
Yeah, he now knows what he would get if he does the associated drop down for it, but it's not going to happen. Yeah, it looks like we found one of the two chest caves here. I'm not sure which one that is. I think that's Waterfall Cave.
That looked like Waterfall, yeah.
Yeah, I think it is, because the other one is obviously more golden. But nothing useful in that cave that I noticed.
No, a lot of locations, but not a lot of items.
Well, there's Waterfall. There's a Pyramid Fairy. Tower Hera,
Big Kitty Hera, and a small Kitty Pod. And there's Swamp over there.
Now, once they find and flood the dam, that will be permanently available for access. Right now, he can't do anything there. Some arrows in Cave 45. Cave 45, by the way, was the right side of one of the houses in Kakariko. The other side is Treasure Game. He doesn't have money to buy access to that game, so moving on to the Blind's Hut entrance. The Blind's Hut entrance leads to, I think,
Super Bunny.
Super Bunny Cave. Yeah, Super Bunny Cave.
So this is one of the many connecting caves, and if Frostbite goes through, comes out the other end, could be either world. Could be Light World or Dark World.
Exactly. That's why we call it Cross World.
And so knowing all of these connecting caves, knowing what they look like, and keeping track of where they end up, that's going to be very important for routing. Because you are going to have to go cross-world many times.
We've located the bomb shop. This is important information to keep note of, because we don't know. It's over in Eastern Palace, so we don't know yet if Pyramid Fairy is going to be of importance or not, but if she is, that's a lot of ground to cover. They're going to have to take the bomb from there all the way back. And we just found another Palace Darkness big key, or small key, and Skullwood small key.
Yeah, Skullwood small key, not a huge find, but that pod key could be very valuable. And, yep, there's our Mire access through Super Bunny.
That's one way in. We may not have the flute to get there the other way until we go through the secret way today, so we'll find out later.
And meanwhile, Ultyma, half a heart going through Spiral Cave. This is a little scary.
You're trying to avoid these.
Yeah, running around with no items at all. A little scary at the moment.
Grabs an extra heart as he leaves. I think Frostbite's trying to set up a water walk or something here. Maybe a hula hand.
Possibly. At bare minimum, you get the info of what was on the Lake Hylia Island. So even if you don't get some mobility, you at least get some knowledge.
We're going to bomb open the cave here. Ultyma is finding the entrance to, looks like, Palace of Darkness.
That's Pod. So the Light World equivalent of Hype Cave is kind of Hype Dungeon.
I was just going to say,
so many chests in here.
Yeah.
Because again, with this being Key Sandy, those 6 small key chests are now 6 item chests. They could be anything.
And so are the big key and map and compass chests. That's 14 chests that can be anything at all.
And we found the Bumper Cave over at Sahasrahla. That is a connector, but that is blocked by the cape. Although I think you can use the hookshot to get through, and that is logically allowed, but I'm not positive.
Yeah, the normal method is the cape. And Frostbite finds his bomb shops, and he gets the information on Tower, Hera, and Turtle Rock being the 5-6 crystals. Ultima did not do this.
Yeah, you got to remember the bomb shop and Sahasrarla will give you information on those prizes, even if you don't have the maps. That's very handy to have in Key Sanity.
Exactly. Sahasrarla does the same thing with where his green pendant is located. That's one map that you don't have to check. And Frostbite now in his own spiral cave.
See if they can actually make their way through those now 4 bombs.
He's trying to get these mini motorarms out carefully with the bombs. That one did not work, and now it's coming right at him.
And
Got him.
we find Paradox over at Mini Moldorm.
This is 7 beautiful items. Well, maybe not all beautiful, but we're going to find out the first 2 right here. A key, that's beautiful. Well, maybe not that one. 100 rupees, that's financially beautiful. Ultima pauses in the doorway and does some analysis of some form as Frostbite gets a big 20. Now Ultima goes upstairs. And he's going to check the 5 chests in here after he takes out a trio of worms.
So it's almost a Mini Moldorm. Dave, it's Mini Moldorm.
Tower
and there's
our
our
small key. Yeah, coffee break is open. Big key to Eastern Palace. Otherwise, not much of interest.
No, but for all we know, that Eastern Big Key is going to be necessary.
Very possibly.
Now, luckily for Ultima, that was the middle of the Paradox Cave, so by logic, all 3 entryways of Paradox are available. That's a more robust connector to have that available.
Ultima is now heading towards the flute spot location here.
Yeah, a little more bomb farming and then heading through Kakariko.
And who knows, maybe that flute spot will be important today. We'll find out later. Blue Mail located in Palace Darkness. I don't think Ultima went deep enough to get that yet. So Frostbite now has a new view.
And a big wad of cash.
And of course, Frostbite was able to do that. Ultima was not able to do that because he didn't have the keys yet.
Yeah, Ultima is actually on 0 pod keys at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Frostbite's still holding on to 1 more.
Yeah, that's one of the challenges with the seed. You have to try to get as many keys as you need to be able to complete the dungeon, as well as the big keys, while also getting the items you need to complete that dungeon. So sometimes the logic of the seed can be dictated by what keys you have, what dungeons you're able to go into. Sometimes you can be expected to do some really nasty double dips. You might have to use those 3 keys in Palace Darkness, for example, to get to an item at the back of Palace Darkness just to go do another dungeon, and then have to come back to Palace Darkness after getting the bow. So anything, you can get all sorts of nasty double dips like that with Key Sanity. Best one I've ever seen is Ganon's Tower big key on the pedestal, and Eastern Palace big key in Ganon's Tower.
Oof. Yeah, that sounds brutal.
That was fun, actually.
I've definitely done Key Sanity runs. That's a hook shot.
I was trying to get
Pod base
hook shot. I agree, that was a hook shot in the map of Ice Palace. Go ahead with what you're saying, though.
Well, I was saying I've had runs where the Ganon's Tower big key was in Swamp, and the Swamp small key was in Tile Room of Ganon's Tower.
There you go.
Yeah, I had a moment once that happened.
And that's Ultima's big key at Turtle Rock. Frostbite already picked this up.
Yes,
And
all this variance in the game, you would imagine it's almost randomized.
maybe just a little bit.
Maybe a little.
Well, that cave isn't of any use.
No, but there are a few more entryways available towards desert, so good direction to head. Can at least get to this cave and Agahnim right away.
Which is anything but a Gina,
Oh yeah,
looks like.
it's pitch black in there.
That leads me to think that might have been the the old man cave. I'm wondering if that might be where that was.
It could have been. There are a couple connector caves that are dark. All of them, originally around Death Mountain. So there's a few options, but Old Man is a decent guess. We saw the shovel over on the desert ledge. Maybe we'll want that, maybe we won't.
Maybe. Oh, we found Agahnim.
Ooh. Agahnim, Agahnim, whatever.
No, I just didn't finish the word properly the first time. And now they found Agahnim, we know that they have to do it just because it has to be done. But no, probably not by logic. It's just a fan favorite.
Yeah, I mean, with the sanctuary location, we have access to the pod area instantly, so we definitely don't need to do Aga for that.
No.
The possibility of there being value on the lumberjack location, though.
No, we already saw it as bombs. You're going to see right now as well.
No, I mean where the lumberjack tree is, that drop spot.
Oh, yeah, that could still be Ganon for all we know. We don't know that yet.
That could be Ganon, that could be the well with, the 5 items. Because all of the drop spots are shuffled amongst themselves rather than anywhere else in the world.
Right.
And I believe we've only seen 3 so far.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing the Ganon drop down at all yet. So,
Nope.
We don't have a record of where he is yet. What was that?
I was saying we haven't seen Ganon or the well,
right,
or Uncle.
Uncle. And one of those is going to be could be located on the pyramid itself as well after you go through Aghanim's Tower. We can even have vanilla Ganon at the pyramid, which means we have to do Aghanim's Tower anyway. Or Ganon's Tower.
Well, with the sanctuary at the Ganon drop spot, we don't have that this time, but we may still have to do Ganon's Tower. That may still be vanilla.
Could be.
Seems fairly unlikely with this seed so far, but you can definitely have to do Ganon's Tower in an entrance randomizer seed. With those 23 chests in the basement alone, there's a fair chance of progression if you have access to it.
Yeah, it's even better than Palace of Darkness in this kind of seed. Ultyma getting a piece of heart from the bottle vendor and stares at him for a couple seconds. I think the runners just had a sync check of the compass for Tower of Hera.
Indeed they have, and now they're going to see a vanilla well.
So they're going to go drop into that. So we're going to keep on Frostbite because he's going to be the first to get the items here. We have a big 20. A couple pots lift up out of the way. A piece of heart. Some blueberries. The hammer!
Hammer!
And the big 20.
So as I like to say, well, what do we have here?
An item for pounding things.
Yeah, that hammer is going to be pretty valuable pretty much no matter what the layout looks like.
Ganon's Tower Small Key was the treasure today, by the way. No flute yet, so we don't get to hear any good music yet. Frostbite scares the runner away. By the way, pro tip, do not mirror into that location where the runner is standing. You will regret it.
Yeah, but Frostbite is not going to regret coming up here. Going to take care of Moldorm with that hammer. Get our first crystal of the run pretty quickly.
It's a little bit harder to do with the hammer than it is with the sword because you have to time that swing for the exact moment the tail is there. So you have to be a little bit quicker getting the tail to be able to time that hit. Plus, the hitboxes can be a little, shall we say, wonky.
I like to say wonky, yeah.
Look at that! Okay, let me just comment. That is a vanilla moon pearl.
How do you like that?
So, normally in a different scenario, we would yell a certain person's name in chat. I'm not going to do that because it's not his game. But anyone who wants to, please, by all means.
But you know what? The item location may not have been randomized, but the location was certainly randomized.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll give him half credit. And Ultyma taking the vanilla route to the vanilla item.
Yeah, there we go. Worm down.
A lamp!
Wow, that's an interesting find.
If nothing else does make for a fire source.
It does. That would unlock the back of Desert Palace. That would unlock, by logic, all of the dark rooms. So yeah, there are some things open up with that. Of course, Aghanim's Tower, but we're probably not going to worry about Aghanim's Tower.
We're hoping to not worry about Aga Tower.
The odds are very low.
But we find one of the connecting houses. The
quarreling-
race game house.
This is the Quarreling Brothers. Where's the Left Brothers house going to exit? Oh! That's a good find. Didn't know that the Left Brother liked living on the edge.
Hey!
But
Well, Ultima is living on the edge to a certain extent, taking the coffee break and hoping that this one item check pays off.
So, question for you. Coffee, tea, or hot chocolate?
Mocha. Coffee with chocolate.
Okay, that would be a coffee then.
Yes. Oh, we find the dam in the back of the Lost Woods.
Now,
Frostbite will...
Go ahead.
I was going to say, Frostbite will grab this small key and then pull that lever, and that will drain the dam down by Lake Hylia and make Swamp Palace accessible.
Exactly.
Never have to come back here and do this.
Yeah, I was about to say, you were about to say it too. That is a permanent flood, so that will stay permanently flooded for Frostbite. Now, as you said, he's not going to have to come back here at all. By the way, in case we didn't comment on it, the mushroom was in the Hera basement. The witch is now open.
Yes, this could be an interesting fetch quest. There's Aga.
We found Ganon. It is the tree.
It is an Aga seed.
We have to do Agahnim.
And boots are required.
So now we know why we got the lamp so early. It was just convenience to say, hey, you gotta do this, go do it. Now the only thing that would make this even better for chat would be if the pedals was required.
I mean, there's plenty of time left.
Yeah, there's lots of dungeons.
Lots of dungeons, lots of keys.
I'm trying to remember what room that is that Frostbite just checked.
I believe that was the fairy drop. which they're now going to go check the fairy drop location, which should have Uncle.
It does have Uncle. And Uncle gave the last of his life.
Rip.
Now, Ultima, I don't think... Did he actually check the... Did he actually check the drop yet for that led to show that Agahnim was required?
Nope, Ultima does not have that info yet. He's just rushing this castle.
He's just doing this because he's going in for the item. He's not going in to do the dungeon. He's going in for the item. Just a compass, though. Yeah, it didn't make sense at first, but then, of course, I remember there was a chest in there that doesn't have a key anymore.
So Frostbite's checking out where the witches would be, and finds a desert. So actually we have the left side of desert at the witch's hut, and then the right side of desert at the blacksmith's. We need some other working house for the front. And we need some boots to get that ice rod.
Yeah, you noticed that ice rod was on the torch. I was going to call that out, too. And we know that Turtle Rock is a crystal, so the boots are required.
Jen is asking what is going on. This is Entrance Randomizer. So along with all the items being shuffled around, all of the transitions from the overworld to some indoor location have been shuffled about, with a handful of exceptions. The Frostbite finding their way into the village of outcasts. So Desert Palace will give you Dark World access.
Yeah, it's worth knowing that the back of Desert Palace is located somewhere else. There's still the entrance to get to Leomolos later on as well.
Up when we find Mini Moldorm.
Oh, that's going to lead to 5 lovely items in the back of the cave. If that worm would die.
Yeah, just cooperate, worm. Accept your fate.
Worm,
we have a game to do.
Thank you. I mean, he is in a hurry here. Ooh, look at Medora. Almost like he targeted that. Just went right to it and then found the red mail next. Some money. The heart container and a smaller piece of heart.
Yep, so now we have one very red, very literate knight.
It's always good being able to read, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it helps.
So Thieves Town leads to a completely useless location, so that location is crossed off. Treasure Game leads to a, well, maybe useful location.
That's the top of Paradox. We saw the middle of it earlier, so this is maybe a useful shortcut.
Okay, I thought it was Super Buddy at first, but yeah, that is Paradox. So Frostbite will get his lovely items out of here. Also, meanwhile, wandering around the vanilla bomb shop area in the Dark World. Frostbite killing more worms.
Yeah, we'll see if Stumpy has anything of value.
Answer is yes, he has $20.
That is value.
That is value.
The Hera Smallkey was here in Paradox Cave. Frostbite getting that bomb jump nice and smooth. Those are very useful to be able to do, especially in Key Sanity, but again, the logic will never require you to do one.
That's right. The logic will always assume that you do not know how to do any of those fancy tricks. Like this includes things like fake flipper as well, or water walking, anything like that. The logic would never assume you know how to do those kinds of things at SEP, so that someone completely new to the game is able to just pick it up, play it, and be able to complete the seed if they figure out the correct route. It is going to be a proper logical route. As Ultyma picks up his shield on dig number 19.
So fortunately, nothing of considerable value off of digging game, but unfortunately it took a while to find that out.
Clearly has some value if you bother to pick it up.
I suppose that's true. Frostbite being pretty smart here and heading to the curiosity shop nice and early. This is one of those spots that you can basically play the entire game and never see.
Chicken hut.
But it could be something.
And we're not going to see a chicken clip today. As we move to the chest over here at the back, and $50.
Ah, but we find the witch's hut over in Hype Cave.
Now to go feed the other witch a mushroom, and then return to Hype Cave. If only there was a convenient way to do that.
If only. That's why finding things like Paradox Cave is very helpful until you get something like the mirror or the flute to really have your mobility. Those things can be very nice shortcuts.
So welcome to Dark Sanctuary. It's just a drop down for Spectacle Rock today.
We'll get a look at what is on the bumper ledge, possibly.
And keep in mind, there's no
Rosalia.
easy, convenient way to get to this item, but it is just a shield, so it won't matter.
No.
Yeah, Ultima might have a hard time upgrading that shield if that's what his goal was.
And there's Thieves Town.
Yeah, that was okay. It's somewhere in the dark world area near Bumper Cave, interestingly enough.
Yeah, the Dark Lumberjacks, and there's a mirror over in Thieves Town, so if you wanted to go back to the Light Lumberjacks, that's a convenient time.
Yeah, we've acquired our vanity item, or also warping between worlds item.
Well, I mean, when you're traveling between parallel dimensions, you gotta make sure you look good.
Oh yeah, style is all to nature. Okay, chest number 3 in Thieves Town is $50. And the final chest over here, knowing he does not have the big key to get inside further, is Ether. Now, to explain that Ether medallion, that is one of those 3 medallions that can potentially open those locations for Misery Mountain or Turtle Rock. You notice those empty circles there. We do not know what opens those locations yet. So those 3 medallions in order are Bombos on the left, Ether, and Quake on the right. Those will open those 2 locations. One of each of those will open one of those 2 locations. Possibly one opening both.
Now, in a normal mode, that would be very valuable because, again, Mire or Turtle Rock or both could be required dungeons. In Entrance, those locations might actually be useless. You can complete a seed with Mire and T-Rock and never grab a medallion.
So look what Ultima did. Ultima went to the witch's location and put the mushroom in, and guess where the back of Desert Palace... Well, actually, no, that's the front of Desert Palace. Never mind. Sword.
A sword!
Yay, we have a sharp, pointy thing.
And a flute.
Yay, we have a transportation thing.
Flute's historically not known to be sharp.
So that's
unless you're playing it wrong.
Yeah, that'd be painful if you play it wrong. Anyway, we have the sharp pointy thing, and we have the musical thing. So that's a pretty good Skull Woods so far. Normally in normal seed, those would be your 2 items. You'd be like, that was a great Skull Woods. But here there could be more.
Absolutely. And of course, Frostbite didn't know that Skullwoods would be in this general vicinity. Skullwoods locations are kind of unique in terms of being drops with multiple entryways, so they're just kind of shuffled amongst themselves rather than the wider world. The exception, of course, is Mothula, which we already saw that part of the dungeon.
We did. And that's a rather pointless small key they just found. Oof.
Ultyma taking advantage of that 8 bomb drop.
And he's going to get his collectibles from back here. Well, that's his first mail upgrade with the Book of Medora. And I forget where the other mail upgrade was now. Anyway, we're getting some music
I forget
right
as well.
now. And as the goose is loose, we're being told the first mail upgrade might have been in Palace of Darkness, according to someone. We're not 100% sure ourselves. But yeah,
it was the arena chest.
Yeah, that's right. So anyway, Swag Duck are now open for transportation business. Please call 555 Duck for all your transportation needs. Only in Hyrule, and does not work in Dark World. Number is not real. Please do not call.
You know, one of these days, someone who does commentary for these is going to get an actual duck call, and they're going to use it when someone activates the flute. I'm not going to be that person, but
yeah, someday someone's actually going to be able to do a duck call after the flute is played, and that will be something that will probably cause much laughter.
And we find Agahnim at the backside of the race game. So again, if this is something valuable, then that's a demonstration that you need to know these things.
And we had to mirror to that. Oh, look at that!
Yeah, that's valuable.
I'm not going to try and do the meme, but that would be a perfect time for it. That was quite a location for the King of Samaria to be found.
So yeah, we have... Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I was just going to...
I was just going to sum up that Agahnim has the cane, and Aginna's spot has the required Aga, so Agahnim is making himself known on this seed.
Agahnim is indeed of importance today. And Ultyma gets the news of where Thieves Town is located. Also does not have the Thieves Town big key yet. So just going to do the treasure collection, which I believe included a mirror. Yep, there it is.
Yeah. Now we don't have...
Frostbite get a Steel Stuff Piece change, and go ahead.
I was going to say, we don't have the information to know if we even need to worry about the back of Thieves Town yet, because our runners have not been doing very many map checks.
They haven't gotten a lot of maps either, though, to be honest. So I think what they feel is that right now they're looking for the items, so they're going to go and just look for the items right now. When they have a good complement of items to start clearing some areas with, and they know where some dungeons are already clear, then they'll be interested to see which ones they need to finish.
Yeah, that is a good point and a good approach to this mode.
I think someone recognized you from the crazy
season
today.
I hopefully will not curse these runners. But so far, the seed has been far kinder.
I have bad news for you. I've come from 4-hour seeds myself.
Yeah, cross keys can have quite the variance. as Ultima figures out where Ganon is and realizes the implications thereof.
Yeah, he's staring in there like, no, please, no.
There's the frustration slashes. You don't even need a sword to do them. You just need the anger.
You just do it with your mind. As Frostbite finds Ice Rod Cave at the dark swamp entrance.
Yeah, it's the fairy side, unfortunately, so no need to dive further.
He's gonna see what the item is here. It's a heart container. He's like, sure, I could use that. Ultyma is going to flood his dam.
So I feel like we have covered the majority of the spots that our runners currently have available, but none of them have included Death Mountain.
Yeah,
So I'm starting to wonder if I'm wondering if there might be a connector that they want to use, or if Frostbite is just going to have to flute up there.
I was gonna say you're right. They haven't done Death Mountain at all yet, and the hook shot I was about to say could be something of a note for that. How, especially because Hookshot Cave, if they were to find that anywhere, that's an area they could go through as well. Of course, it's not at the Hookshot Cave location probably, but if they were to find it up there, it's something they could go through. Frostbite is the only one to have the hookshot, which is somewhere in the dark room, in that dark basement in Palace of Darkness on the right side. Ultima could knock it back there because he didn't have the key, so he doesn't have the hookshot. But both do have the hammer; they can still make their way around with the hammer.
So yeah, if Ultima ends up grabbing the flute and going up to Death Mountain without making that pod dip, they'll only be able to do the left side, which is a decent number of locations, but Frostbite can hookshot over to the right side and get a fair bit more.
No, he can go over with a hammer on top. He just can't, has to go the longer way.
Oh, yes, because they have the mirror. So yes, it's not as much of a location advantage for Frostbite on that front.
Just a time advantage, if anything, for Frostbite. And Frostbite has just had his pockets picked, which is normal for this game. So he pays off everyone's favorite contortionist, Kiki the monkey, and Kiki hops on top of the room, opens the door, and what do we get access to for 110 bucks today?
The big chest of thieves yeah.
Now we already found Laser Bridge, so we have that entrance, but let's see what's in here. And it's worth noting that we have the big key already, so he is going into the big key location to see if he can find in a roller room. He doesn't have to continue here because he's not going to be able to finish Trinex anyway, and he has the Laser Bridge entrance anyway, so he can do this and he can move back to the start of the area. And there's his Gaon's Tower key. He can just leave right now.
Yeah, we've already found at least one GT small key, so if you do have to climb it, that's really all you need.
Well, he's going to work backwards now. Look at what he's doing here. Because you don't have to come in the front door, he's going to work his way backwards, and he might even go all the way back to see where the actual entrance comes out. Or does he already know where it comes out?
I don't know that he knows.
So we found the back of Blind's Hut, by the way. There's 2 Dark Palace keys in there. And a cape. And Frostbite was turned into a fish again.
Going to actually use Ether.
Yeah, he's done here and it didn't work. Well, he hammered the Pokey, poor Pokey.
Well, Ultima, you don't have gloves.
Flippers!
Flippers! How have they not melted being above that lake of lava?
Well, flippers are hardy. It's the ice rod I'd be a little worried about.
You know, fair point.
Thank you. Granted, that's not a torch. How is it not melted on the torch?
I'm gonna guess the torch is like it's like those cool like LED lights, the ones that don't get very hot. I imagine something like that.
Maybe.
That's gonna be my theory.
Frostbite takes a very happy death there.
So yes, those flippers mean not only can we access Zora now, and Hobo, but we also get the shopping mall over in Dark World. Because you cannot fake flipper to that.
Yeah, I guess that does open Zora. You have to do it through the lake warp point, but you can get over there without the glove, I guess.
Yep.
And Ultyma is near that warp point I speak of right now, just doesn't have his flippers yet.
I don't believe they've gone to the Ice Rod locations, so that's probably the first priority, but might see a fake flipper after that, depending on how
We
they
may.
feel.
Hobo could be worthwhile. It was the back of
Hyrule Castle.
That's Hyrule Castle. That might be worth checking out. That isn't worth checking out.
And yeah, we saw very quickly that the Mire entrance is Bombos. Again, we might not need that entrance at all, but we have that information now.
Frostbite gonna get a shovel. I mean, he could dig that. Now, that is a hint tile that we normally do not see because that's a dungeon. I think that's not a dungeon, but that's the location I think is the Dark World Shopping Mall. Am I correct?
Yep.
So we normally don't see that.
Yep, but it is a hint tile. So if you're playing a mode that does have the hint system working, that can be information.
It would be, yes.
Is it worth the time investment? No, but...
Hobo had the big key to Ice Palace. Now, it's not a big key that the runners are going to be worried about if they bomb jump Ice Palace and they get in without having to use the big keys. They're not worried about that. But that is the big key to Ice Palace that is there now. That would open the big chest if there's something in the big chest. And but say Frostbite was about to get murdered by a murder-dactyl, but took the hit like a champ. Found the archery game.
With red mail, you can take some rather rude hits and come out okay.
That's true. So, checkerboard cave entrance. What is... Oh, he can't lift it, so he forgot he doesn't have power glove.
Nope. I believe we saw Ultyma come out of that at some point, so I'm pretty sure that is a connector. But I do not recall which one exactly.
I don't remember seeing that either. So Frostbite is going to do like I suggested here and check Hyrule Castle, because there are a few items in here. There could be more information down here. I'm going to get a look at the replay to see what that item was. There's a big key on the Zora ledge.
Yep, so Frostbite will be able to grab that whenever they head in that direction, but Ultyma can't do it just yet.
And since we're going to be some time before we actually get back over there, there's a small key in Desert Palace right side, by the way. Since it's going to be some time before we get back to that big key, take your guesses in chat, those of you watching live, which big key is that on the Zora ledge? What big key is waiting over there for Frostbite with his flipper? So we found Palace of Darkness in the meantime.
Eastern.
Not too far away. Or Eastern, I meant Eastern, sorry. We found Eastern Palace, meanwhile, not too far away.
I mean, they are structurally very similar, almost as if that's a point.
We have a call for it being the Thieves Town Big Key. We have another call for the Swamp Palace Big Key.
Well, Thieves Town Big Key would be a bit ruder Then the Swamp Palace one. Thieves Town, if we do have to do the dungeon, that big key is necessary. The Swamp Palace big key, not necessary to complete the dungeon.
We have a couple GT big key guesses too, but that's not that rude of a guess today because this is 7 Crystals mode. This is not a mode where you have to typically do Ganon's Tower unless you have to unlock Ganon in his vanilla spot in the pyramid. Then you kind of have to. So the items so far in Hyrule Castle have not been very savory. Frostbite is going to now check the main entrance and see where that leads him. Oh, that's a nice main entrance.
Yep, all the way over on Death Mountain. So maybe Frostbite will finally check out Death Mountain.
So see, Ganon's effort to relocate the castle is working out well because no one can go in the main entrance anymore. Well then.
Well, that's a very good find, and good thing Frostbite has the mirror, because this entrance can be a pain.
You gotta be a
pain.
That is a pain. That is a pain. Go through Hyrule Castle to come out the Bumper Cave exit to mirror and access the basement of Ganon's Tower. 23 items of joy and frustration. All located right here. Big money! Big prizes! I love it!
But just getting here was a bit of a whammy, so... I don't know, is that show old enough that I can grump about kids these days when referencing it?
Nah, it's only like 1984, 1986 range. I think it was on 3 seasons. I watched it.
Yeah. I watched it in syndication, mostly.
Yeah, me.
But,
well, yeah, me too. I think I was still really young when it was originally on.
The big kid against Tower in Tile Room.
That is not the scene you want to see that in.
I'm going to yell at Fred, and this has nothing to do with the meme. I just want to yell at somebody.
Yeah, you need someone to yell at for that one. Can we just yell at Vitor?
You know what? I'll allow it.
So there's a small key to this dungeon. Oh, we're getting our laser bridge check, by the way. I haven't even been paying attention. One of the Turtle Rock keys was on the laser bridge. There's our power glove in Ganon's Tower. And I didn't see the first 2 chests in that room, so if anyone has them, please, by all means.
The first 2 in the Ganon's Tower room, or
in laser bridge.
I don't believe there were anything of note. There was the 1 Turtle Rock key, and I think that was it. A bottle.
Hmm. I may have to go back and take a quick peek at Laser Bridge here. Thankfully, I have 2 screens, so I can do that while still calling here. So, Frostbite's continuing his trip through the abyss known as Ganon's Tower, looking for items of usefulness.
Yep, still have Rando Room, Ice Armos. Can't quite do the right side yet. But, can do all that, and can do the big chest, because Ganon's Tower big key was in Tile Room.
It's in his possession. Oh, there's our boomerang. I can confirm the second chest in Laser Bridge was a green rupee. I'm getting a look at the first one right now, I believe.
Almost the junkiest of junk.
And the other one was bombs. So you're right, they were nothing useful. I see a Turtle Rock small key located in Rando room there.
Yeah, I believe Frostbite could do ice thermals with that fighter sword. Whatever weapon they're using is going to be a pain. But I believe it is viable. Not going to bother, though. Not even going to visit Bob.
A pain to him or the boss?
Yes.
Thank you. And he was getting the big chest before visiting Bob because it's quicker for him to do it that way, it looks like. I have to agree with that. It's a long walk around from doing it afterwards.
Nice bomb jump there.
That was nice. Normally you use the boots, but he doesn't have the boots yet. And hi, Bob. Say hi, Bob.
And also say hi, Landmos, over on Hyrule Castle. The right side.
That is the Landmolas area of the dungeon. He has left to check other entrances. And Frostbite is going to have a wonderful time fighting these guys. What was that? I've never seen that room before.
That, I guess, is a different chest game that doesn't have a meaningful item.
Maybe not. Maybe that's the case. Too bad we can't get a meaningful item in there and make it worthwhile. Well, 2 knights are down.
Ultyma is going to use the now 4 keys that they're holding on to and see if they can make more progress in Pod. I don't know if they got a potion here. They don't have the bow.
Frostbite is low on cash and he does not have any bottles or potions. Obviously, no bottles, no potion. He has decided this is not worth the trouble right now. He's going to leave and hopefully he doesn't leave anything behind there.
Oh yes, Ultima just grabbed a potion from one of the shops. And yep, there's a potion glitch.
I think Frostbite just realized he didn't do all of the right sides, so he's going back and taking a bomb death here. He's going to go and check the right side, I believe.
No fire rod, so you can't check the right side, but big key means you can...
That's true. As
Ultima gets a bottle refund.
Now, I'm surprised that Frostbite did not pick up that bottle. He must not have taken this route in Palace of Darkness when he came through. Oh, no, wait, this bottle, is the... wait, that's the bow lock. Ultima used a glitch. Yeah. That's right. Never mind.
That, again, that's a sequence break that is not expected by the game, but it is a minor glitch by the rules, so it is allowed if you want to do it.
So it's worth noting that Ultima used that potion in that bottle to get a bottle that he was not supposed to have yet. So he's not supposed to have any bottles right now because he used the bottle that he was allowed to have to get the bottle he's not allowed to have, and you figure it.
Mm-hmm. That's twice the legal amount of bottle.
Yeah.
What's considered minor versus major? I'm not sure the exact designation, but generally major glitches allow you to mess around on the overworld substantially more.
In weird and wonderful ways. By the way, the island had 20 rupees on it.
Well, good for the island. More important that we can check out Dark Death Mountain.
And the Hookshot Cave entrance, which is the entrance that Ultima already found. And Ultima gets punched into the gap, which he's not very happy about, so he has to leave and re-enter.
Yep. is possibly setting up for a hammer yump, but
Now
not
notice
taking
something.
the.
Notice something interesting here. Notice that the skulls that are normally in this dungeon, as he gets this half magic, the skulls in this dungeon have been replaced by bottles. So this is a little quirk of the where the dungeon is located in terms of light world or dark world. It determines whether there are skulls or bottles in the dungeon. They serve the same purpose, obviously, but it is cosmetic based on what world the entrance is located in.
And Frostbite finds the proper side of Spec Rock and finds a small key
Ooh.
to Castle Tower. We are going to need that.
Yeah, we will actually need that today. That is correct. Ultima finding a big 20 in the harmless hallway. And he's out of keys, so is he going to try and do a hammer yum to get across the gap here?
Looks
Sources
like.
suggest yes.
It's a very precise bomb jump, but if you can pull it off, especially in Key Sanity, saves you a lot of resources, a lot of effort.
Ding, 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 we have a winner. And
We have a Meyer.
will we find the big key to the dungeon in here by some chance? Let's find out. No, just a
Nope.
map to Misery Mire, which is where Frostbite is. We're gonna have to keep an eye out for when someone does a map check here too, because we have a few maps now that we can do that with.
Yeah, we're primed for it, and we have found all the dungeons.
By the way, for those wondering, normally the dungeon music in the game will tell you if it's a pendant or crystal dungeon. Not in this one. Because the dungeons are all shuffled around and all that, the music is also shuffled around.
Yeah, but on top of it, it's Key Sanity, and that mode by default will not give you the music cue.
That's what I was getting at, yeah. So we're gonna see a chest in this room here from Frostbite right now. That is a small key to
Okay.
Castle Tower.
Well.
So yeah, I'm starting to think that's required.
I'm getting the hint.
Yeah, I think it's needed. Someone calling for boots in Castle Tower, second chest.
That's a very rude.
Yeah, but it's possible.
Yeah, actually, it's less rude than it might seem because you're gonna have to go through there anyway, and you don't need the boots until after you go through there. So, not the worst thing.
Frostbite manages to get the torches lit in time to move a wall. The wall is currently moving. Please wait. Please wait. Please wait. Continue waiting. Wall is still moving. Thank you for waiting. Torch is out. Continue waiting. Thank you. All that for peace of heart.
Yep. And of course, no big key for Myers, so we'll get these front-loaded chests, and that's it. We won't be seeing Vitreous just yet. That would
Unless the
be
big key is on the right side.
yeah, unless the key is right here, but low odds.
Low odds, but we haven't seen it yet, so the odds are higher than they were.
Chad asking about the hint system. In Entrance Randomizer, hints do not work just yet. These are, consistently being updated, so we should see that at some point in the future.
Yeah, we expect it someday.
Just not yet.
We do expect it someday, just not probably till version 31 or 32 or 33, so someday. There's a still apparently big, though not as big as his wallet 20 for Frostbite.
Yeah, that's actually a legit question. The hint system in Entrance Randomizer, would the hints tell you where items are or where locations are, or both?
I personally would like to see it just say where locations are, but we probably get a little bit of both. And there still would be very useless hints in there too. Let's see, let's pick a useless hint here. Um, the tavern entrance is in Ganon's tower. That'd be a good one.
That would be good. You don't need to worry about that. Might have to worry
Yeah.
about Hype Cave. 5 items. One of them is the Compass of Turtle Rock, though. So,
Yep. What else do we have? Sword, money, arrows, Titan's Mitt.
and a glove.
Hupfen, rate this hype cave.
I'm gonna go 9.
I'm right up about 10, I think. Master Sword upgrade and Titan's Mitt.
The only thing that would make it better is if Frostbite actually needed the money that was there.
He has to call it fun someday, doesn't he?
I guess.
Yeah.
Speaking of the tavern,
Just called, it arrives. Speaking of thieves,
you say that for Frostbite finding the thief under the rock, or Ultima stealing the old man from his hideout?
yes.
Good answer.
Thank you. So the old man has emerged on Death Mountain with Ultima. And not a bad walk for him back to where he belongs, and doesn't seem to know how to get in his front door, but found the way over.
Well, I mean, it's not quite his front door, but it'll do.
And Frostbite's now going to find the old man. I didn't catch what the tip was. We'll get another look at it here on Frostbite's side. So what is inside this cave? Nothing. You get nothing. Have we checked that door that Ultima just passed? That is a big key on
That is,
Spectre.
and that is a mimic cave.
This is a mimic cave. I still didn't catch what the old man did because I was distracted by mimic cave.
It's a piece of heart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we are just over an hour in. Frostbite has found 2 swords. Ultima still has not seen either of them.
That's right. We are just over an hour, about almost an hour and 9 minutes into the seed. For those joining us a little late here, first of all, where you been? Welcome. Second of all, I'm Cyclone, joined by Hump, and we're calling the action for you on this race between Frostbite3030 of the Fendrana Drifters and Ultima of Two Pearl, Two Furies. Fendrana Drifters are one of our leading teams in the league, 21 points so far in the league. Two Pearl, Two Furies running on 9 points and trying to make some headway between this week and next week.
Yep, if I understand the math correctly, a win here for Frostbite would put Fendrana Drifters into the playoffs.
It might at this point, yes. I think it might at this point.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm not positive on the math on that one, but Two Pearl, Two Furious, at the bare minimum, has a chance to play spoiler and make it a little tougher for the Drifters.
We're going to see the big key right now. We know it's not Gan's Tower. Desert Palace.
And you know what? We have found where the landmillas are, so...
And for the question in chat as we get a small key of Turtle Rock off the now destroyed tablet. We're getting standard seeds next week, so what we had in week 1 is going to be returning in week 6 for the league contest. So I don't think we've seen the big key in front of Zora yet, because we haven't actually seen a purchase of Zora's item yet either. So what
Nope.
big keys are left in play here? We still have Palace of Darkness, we still have Swamp Palace, we still have Skull Woods, we still have Thieves' Town. Those 4 are all still in play. I think Misery
And-
Mire is as well, actually.
Misery Mire, yep, still
So-
in play.
5 are still in play that could be over there, and we still have to figure out where the other, well, not all of them because we don't need them all, but we still have to figure out where the other big keys are too.
Yeah, now of those 5, though, 2 of them are not, again, actually required. We don't need
Exactly.
the Swamp or Skull Woods keys, and, well, you can get by without the Ice Palace one if you know how, but our runners have that. Well, Ultyma has that,
Unless their chests have something, then they are required, obviously.
naturally. So yeah, right now we're just wondering what dungeons do our runners actually have to worry about.
A small key in the pipe maze. How? Wait. How did he get that?
What?
The tablet just told him a small key in the pipe maze.
Oh yeah, you use the book to read the tablet, which does
But-
give you a hint.
Oh, wait a minute. That's... Well, is it
That's
telling you that's
T-Rock.
a small key on the tablet? Okay, I get it.
Yeah, and I guess the pipe maze portion is to tell you
Yeah.
that it's the Turtle Rock.
It's to tell you it's
key.
the Turtle Rock small key, exactly. I was trying to think about what that meant for a second. I was thinking, no, this doesn't give you the hints yet. Frostbite apparently flew to the wrong spot, did some sword slashes. Now off to Palace of Darkness as Ultyma finds... Well, he's in the main entrance now, so he already went out the main entrance to see what it was, but he is looking inside Hyrule Castle right now.
And actually, we have the Dark Sewer chest. That part of the escape sequence that is accessible.
So
It's
is
just one
back.
location, but
So might be the back. Does he have the key to go back there?
we have not seen the swamp key, or the sewer key rather.
Oh. He should be able to get a drop down there anyway. No, we know the boots. We know the boots. But he has...
No,
He doesn't have the glove either. No, he can't. He can't drop down yet.
the drop down is the Ganon spot, because Sanctuary drops you out of the pyramid. So
Yeah, that's gross.
yeah, we're not going back there without the sewer key. That's for sure. Although this actually, this leads for something very rude. We might have to do Ganon's Tower to access the back of Escape to access progression. Because if that sewer key is blocked by whatever progression is in the back of Escape,
Yeah.
ugh.
It's like when you
That's-
have to. It's like when you have to Agahnim to access Lumberjack. Anytime there are chests underneath of a location, and you have to do something to open that location to get that progression, that is just like gross randomizer logic coming in to whammy you.
Yep. I didn't see when we got the bug net, but Ultima has it.
And Frostbite forgetting that he already cleared out the pyramid when he was a fish. He's now come to the top of the pyramid to stare out at the distance and instead has decided to enter the central cave that normally is Agahnim and forgot that he already checked this.
I think Ultima already checked these, but Frostbite is going to get the
Frostbite
intel
saw
on
it
these.
earlier too. Frostbite saw it earlier too, but I think he forgot that he checked it. Or he was just trying to remember which one was Desert Palace because he knew it was here.
Well, just a small key to Skull Woods in the sewer cross, so not exactly useful. Frostbite is going to take care of the second boss of this run, see if this one was a crystal or not.
And Ultyma is done here, so he's staying in the doorway meditating, and he goes back in. Maybe he's not done here.
Yeah, possibly just making a note of where that entrance / exit goes to.
Yeah, you want to
it can
write down
help
the
if you're-
important ones.
Yeah. It can help if you're trying to learn entrance randomizer in general to try and think of it less as entrance and more as exit randomizer. These connecting dungeons and caves and all that, those are very, very important.
Lenmola's battle. Engage! So these worms are going to fly up from the sand and basically try to aim themselves at Link's head, which they're not very successful in that so far, but Frostbite is also not very successful in getting his shots in. He got a hammer shot there. Normally you don't have the hammer when you do this fight in the vanilla game, so this is a... if you can land these hammer shots on the snakes, this is a luxury. You have to do it this way in Ganon's Tower in the vanilla game if you want to.
And speaking of Ganon's Tower, Ultima has just found it.
Also no fire route, so you can't do full right side either, but he did not do Tower Room to find the big key. Not that it's going to really matter yet, but if there's an item underneath Agahnem's defeat, like you said, that could be a critical mistake. That's a pendant, by the way, on Desert Palace.
Yep, just the good old red pendant, so not hugely valuable unless the seed decides to be even more evil.
Question in chat, that's vanilla, isn't it? Not really. It's normally the blue one that's there. The red one is on Tower of Hera. But in terms of being a useless pendant, sure, we'd say.
And that's a glove for Ultima.
And he's finally thinking, oh, I had to come here to get that? This long in, I had to come here to get that? Really? Not having a good time with the hook shot right now.
Probably going to have a very similar sentiment when they find swords. Because again, Skullwood's very accessible.
Yeah, he's, I'm sure he's not happy about not having a sword yet. And one was in Hype Cave as well. Don't know where the other two are yet.
No, but still plenty of item locations to look at.
Like upstairs in Ganon's Tower. But there's no way he's going to think that the big key is here in Ganon's Tower, unless he would have to Tower Room to even get it.
Yeah, you don't want a key to be in its own dungeon, and you don't want to do Tile Room.
No, you do not want to. Oh, we're going to get our Zora check, I think.
A very quick map check. I didn't even see what Eastern was.
I hope our tracker saw it. If not, I can try and get it in a minute.
Sounded like just a crystal.
We found our upgrade cave.
Yep, there's Venus.
So those upgrades used to be items in the item pool. You'd be able to pick up an upgrade from a chest like you would from a pack of bombs or anything else. But now, instead of putting them as items, they actually are purchasable upgrades in a cave located in the light world version of where Ice Palace is. So that's where they normally are held. That location, of course, is randomized like everything else, and those that location lets you buy bomb upgrades and arrow upgrades. And refills both of those when you buy them.
So let's see if Zora has anything, or if that key on the ledge is the only value we're going to find. That
I
key
was
on the
just gonna-
ledge is the only value we're going to find.
I was just going to say it's probably just a small amount of money, and sure enough, it's a small amount of money. But I didn't have a chance to get it out. And the key is Thieves Town! To the person who said Thieves Town in chat, congratulations, you win an attaboy.
Ultyma's trying to set up this bomb jump with no sword. It's gonna be kind of tricky. May just opt to go all the way around like you're supposed to.
Ultima now realizing that he needs the bomb jump and misses. Got that one. He's gonna say, "Hi, Bob." Everyone wave hi to Bob.
Now, if you thought Frostbite was being bold, doing Ice Armos with a sword, Ultima's doing it with a hammer.
It's hammer time!
Well, we'll see how long hammer time lasts.
Any bets in chat as to whether he finishes this fight? Get your guesses in now. This is a very difficult fight, so I do not blame you if you say he won't.
Yeah, I don't like doing hammer armos, even if it's in Eastern Palace. You don't have to.
He has a potion, though. He could try to stick this out, but the red knight is going to be an absolute nuisance to have to deal with here. He's almost out of health.
And meanwhile, we found the Swamp Palace small key on the right side of Desert.
He is using the potion. 12 hearts, take 2.
He's committed to this move.
He's committed to finding what's back here. If there's something good back here, Frostbite is going to have to make another trip back here later. But the question is, will Ultima still be able to finish this fight? Question, can Ether hurt Armos? I'm going to assume the answer is no. Not the Armos Knights. 2 Knights down.
Yeah, honestly, I've never tried it.
4 Knights down. We're going to have a red one soon. And this is going to be very, very tricky when the red knight comes out. Will he be able to get the hits with the hammer on the red knight? He's trying to hammer. There goes one. Now's the red knight. He gets all of his health back, and he basically tries to stop on you. Very rude. And look at this. The red knight is no problem. He's got it lined up. Look at this.
Unlock. Good job, Ultima.
You said something about Thieves Town small key?
Over at the shopping mall, along with the library having a piece of heart.
Nice.
Oh, nothing of value.
Some bombs, and he hammers the last chest angrily. I get the feeling he didn't like what was back there.
You know what? I'm going to agree. I'm going to say yeah.
I mean, he knows he doesn't have to go back. Frostbite, that's going to hamper his mind. He's going to go back and probably have a similar reaction later, perhaps. We'll see later.
Yes, as we're approaching the hour-and-a-half mark, I always like to remind folks, if you enjoy what you're seeing, if you're enjoying these runners putting on the show, always encourage you to give them a follow and check out what they're doing off of these races. Everyone who's participating in this league is a solid Link to the Past Randomizer player. They're all worth checking out.
Yeah, definitely make sure to follow the runners and in the league because they're doing this every week for 6 weeks plus the playoffs for the teams that qualify for that. So, and this isn't all they do. I'm sure like a lot of the runners do play some other games as well. So this is just one of the games that they play a lot for all the tournaments that we have going on. Because there's always linked to the past randomizer tournaments going on in all sorts of forums. I think there's an Overworld Glitches tournament going to be starting soon, actually. And we do have the spoiler log tournament going on right now as well, which might become a regular event as the years go on. So, and then of course the dailies as well that someone is pointing out in chat. The dailies that happen every day as well during the week. So lots of things going on. Linked to the past that there were a lot of these winners will obviously participate in, but go by their streams, see what else they do, and hang out with them, and maybe even buy some merch from them if they have some merch.
I kind of want merch of that like rainbow link, if I'm being honest. It's kind of snap. Like give me that as an amiibo. I'll take it.
I have to convince Nintendo of that one. I still want my Piranha Plant, which apparently is hard to find right now. I'm not happy about that.
Yeah. Ultima, you're gonna want that key.
So Ultima did get that key.
Well, good for Ultima. There's really no harm in picking up every small key you find.
Never know which one's
Never
going to be
know.
useful. There's your bug net that you were wondering about earlier.
There it is.
Now, did we? I don't think we have it on our tracker for key sanity, so we're not going to get to mark it, unfortunately. But it is there. So hey, at least they can defeat Agahnim now, right?
Yep, absolutely doable. Of course, you still need a sword to actually get to Aga.
Yeah, that's the downside. One of our runners has it, one doesn't. And I'm sure Ultima just wants to know where it is right now. Because he needs at least two of them to be able to fight Ganon later.
Yep. The swords we've seen so far, one of them was in Skull Woods, which is still in the Skull Woods area as always, and the other was in Hype Cave, which I believe was on Death Mountain somewhere.
I forget the exact location myself, but it was definitely at the Hype Cave location. We're going to get to the island, or did we even see the island yet? Looks like it has arrows or bombs on it.
Yeah, 10 arrows. We got a quick peek at it early on.
Also, we get to see Ganon's Tower Compass.
Oh, compass is not super valuable for these runners. They just tell you how many item locations in a dungeon you have and haven't checked. And if you know the dungeons well enough, not super helpful.
And later, if you reprogram, you can sell them as collectibles. So Frostbite summons Swag Duck Air and returns to the village and throws some sword beams after the duck as it flies away. The duck was unaffected. Ultima now has both of his castle tower keys. I'm sure he's happy to see that.
Oh, just overjoyed.
Yeah, peachy, I'm sure.
Frostbite gonna go take the coffee break. Not gonna find anything of value in here, unfortunately.
Ultima pushes the Wizrobe with the block.
That Wizrobe had it coming.
Yeah. Get out of the way, Wizrobe. And now we have a double coffee break going on here. One with a wall moving, the other with a bunch of tiles flying at someone. So, slurp.
Yep, remember to stay hydrated, chat.
On that note, I'll have a nice drink of my delicious, delicious water. Okay, I'm good to call more. Mushroom found for Frostbite.
Yep, we still haven't seen if that's actually valuable or not, though. Ultima has turned it in, but has not gone to the potion shop over at Hype Cave to find out if it was worth it.
Meanwhile, Ultima is still digging out Misery Mire. Without the big key, won't be able to do the full dig and get Viddy at the same time, but it's not going to be easy to fight Viddy anyway, so I don't think he's worried about that right now.
Yeah, no bow, no swords. I'm not doing Viddy.
No way.
You can do it with hammer. I think you can do it with bombs even, but nah.
So Ultima returns to the Light World. He finds his Hype Cave. He will find at 1 hour, 31 minutes, and 10 seconds, he gets his first sword.
Ultima can now poke things with a stick.
Yay! Ultima is now in sword mode.
And Frostbite is in Back of Thieves Town mode. Having that small key plus the hammer, every chest back here is going to be accessible and attainable.
Which is exactly what you want if you're going to go in dungeon to clear the boss. You don't want to come back ever. Especially when the enemies are rude like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a key for this dungeon, because the ones under pots are always going to still be there for the dungeon they're in.
Yep, pot keys and enemy drop keys never get moved around.
So we're going to now enter the Sunshine Room. I call it the Sunshine Room because you blow in the hole to let the sunshine in downstairs. That's Sunshine Room.
Mm-hmm.
There is Brian's cane. So Brian, if you are watching, your cane has been found. Please check in at the Thieves Town Lost and Found and claim it.
So that actually makes for 2 sources of invulnerability, which would be awesome if we didn't already have red mail and 12 hearts and not really need them.
Well, technically, it does put Spike Cave in logic. Those 2 sources of vulnerability, either one of them would. So it does mean Thieves Spike Cave is very fully within logic when and if we find it, unless it's located all the way up in the Ganon's Tower, in which case, who cares?
Yeah, and same with Laser Bridge. You need a source of invulnerability or the Mirror Shield.
So Frostbite acquires a maiden. Spoiler, that's not a maiden.
And that's not an interesting item. It's just a couple of bombs.
Chat did not appreciate my spoiler.
I mean, you gotta give a little more time after the spoiler alert.
They realize there's a spoiler tournament going on, right? Anyway, we're going to get to see the blind pun of the day in about 10 seconds. So here we go. We just have to walk up into this room. Hey, look, sunshine. The maiden doesn't like sunshine. Oh, look. Are you doing a blind run of this game?
Yes, the spoiler tournament is on the other channel.
Yes. Well, I was doing one until I got spoilered.
No, I don't think Blind's Disguise counts as an item location.
Me neither.
But it is a crystal. So that means that we now know 4 of them, and At least for Frostbite, you have obtained 2.
By the way, for those of you who are not aware, the Spoiler Law Tournament, Synak is one of the head administrators of it, and has actually changed all the blind text, the Ganon text, all the Triforce texts to other texts on a server. So it's actually a treat seeing some of the new messages you get to see on there as well. If you want to see some new lines in there, go check that out.
Yeah, it's always nice to encounter those little, bits of fun on top of, the quality of life improvements that tend to come with randomizers, just the
Exactly.
silly things.
Anyway, staying back with this race here, Frostbite now finding the back of Blind's hut finally. Is going to get his small keys to Dark Palace out of here, or Palace of Darkness. That takes him up to 5. He gets his cape.
Yeah, so Frostbite has found all of the pod keys that we've seen so far, and if you do the hammering up, that's all you're going to need.
Yeah, that could be all you need.
But again, in terms of the logic of the seed, it will always assume that you get every single key. It is designed to allow you to use the keys in the worst possible way.
Exactly.
So that 6th key is somewhere.
It will assume the worst. It will assume that you will take the key in the back of Desert Palace and use it to unlock the right side of Desert Palace and not go to fight the boss instead. It will assume that you will do quote-unquote dumb things like that. Of course, whether it's dumb depends on the seed.
Yeah, very true. So yes, at least in terms of what items we have left to worry about, the bow, that's kind of a big one. We do know that we'll need Fire Rod for Turtle Rock, and we know we need the boots to get to Ganon.
I'm going to make call. Bo's going to be in here.
At the hammer pegs?
Yeah. Well, it's a kid, so yeah.
Nope.
Ah, well, it was worth a shot. I'll make one call every seed.
But yes, boots and Fire Rod can both, I'm gonna say, definitely be on pedestal, but as I say that, I'm like a little unsure. The bow has a better chance of not, because we don't know what pod is. So
Yeah,
that could be a pendant.
It depends on pod.
Yep.
Frostbite decides on second thought he will take the heart. Also, we're doing Catfish. Now, Catfish we know usually has something really important on it because at this late in the seed, he's usually holding something. What do you think he has?
Unfortunately, Frostbite has been up here and just had a map.
Oh, I didn't. Okay, I forgot that. Okay, good call.
But no, visiting Catfish is a decent idea, especially when you haven't done Zora and might have the ability to route it in. Ultyma still hasn't found the flippers, so not going to make that play.
Oh, we have a map check there. That was a pendant at Ice Palace I saw. Crystal at Misery
Yep.
Mire.
And the remainder of it remains a mystery.
Yeah, we didn't have anything else on his side.
Well, there's the blacksmiths.
Now I just need to find Jeremiah and get him up here. Meanwhile, on the tablet, we kill a bat.
for silvers.
So pray to the gods, get some bat wings for lunch and some silver arrows for dinner. For bacon.
I don't know that I want to experience your cooking if silver arrows are part of the meal.
No, silver arrows to cook the bacon. I said.
Oh, okay. No, that's fine. That's hot cuisine.
Yes, very much. Silver is good for cooking. Just trust me on that. I don't have backup science for that. Besides, if you have a problem with silver arrows in cooking, you should try bombs.
I don't know where to go from there.
It's an explosive meal, trust me. So that's Ultima's 5th Palace Darkness key. I think that's one that Frostbite already found as well, so we still don't know where the 6th one is located. We are getting a potion glitch on Frostbite's side, it looks like.
Yep. Just make the game think those mimics are dead by shoving them off screen.
And the game is brainless.
Yeah.
Well-programmed 1991 game. The programming back then was fantastic.
I mean, the programming back then was extremely difficult as well.
Yes. That's why it was fantastic.
So Ultima is going to make the sweep around the Desert Palace locations. We already know there's not going to be anything of much interest. Lamela's entryway is just going to send you back to Hyrule Castle.
Not that there's anything wrong with Hyrule Castle, but...
No, it's just not new information.
I mean, if you already know what's there, why would you go back?
Exactly.
And it's like Ultima... Is he thinking about... No, he shouldn't be. It's lots of money. Yeah, he's leaving. He's just making the notes.
Yeah. So that only gets you... What is it, 60-some per play?
It doubles with each arrow. I think 64 is the last arrow, if you get all 5 shots.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember how much it costs, though. I think you end up getting, like, 70 or 80 net. I don't remember. I just hula hand for money, honestly.
I think you get 124 as the prize, so that much I do know, based on the math, assuming I did the math correctly. I think I did, because it's 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. Mm-hmm. 64 doubles 128, take away 4.
Yep, see, there we go, chat.
See, I dare to do math on Twitch.
That's what I'm saying. We've now gotten your daily dose of math.
Hey, that's fun. We should try counting.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's probably more boring.
So I suspect Ultima is going to head up into Skull Woods right about now. Kind of a good idea. We'll get to the Master Sword here. Also, with the mirror in the book, we might end up seeing a pet check.
At this point, I think a pet check is a good idea. This late in the race, you want to just make sure there's nothing there. And there could still be something there. Like bombos.
Mm-hmm. Or, you know, boots.
Or the boots. Or the fire... Well, fire rod, maybe not, but fire rod could be interesting. Oh yeah, that would be neat for Trinex. So yeah, Fire Rod, Ice Rod.
Yeah, we know where Ice Rod is. We don't know where
There is
Fire
the
Rod
last.
is. And,
There is the last Palace of Darkness key. First chest in Turtle Rock.
well, there you go. Ice Rod is on the torch in desert.
Oh yeah, Ice Rod is in desert. I just called it out because we didn't have it yet. That's right. It can't be on the pedestal. The question of the day: if they don't have the boots, are they actually speedrunning?
I think it's referred to as speed walking.
I think I just had a shower thought. Anyway, we have our Jeremiah grab. Frostbite's gonna have a bit of a walk because it's not just over to his house today. He has to go all the way over to near the desert with the dwarf today. Then he has to come back to pick up the purple chest if he wants to know what's in the purple chest. So he's flew over for a shortcut.
Yep, nice and quick and convenient.
Well, quicker if he had the boots, but we won't go there.
And Ultyma won't go to pedestal. It looks like gonna head down towards Village of Outcasts.
I'm gonna make call say boots are in Gary's lunchbox. I thought that was it for a second right there.
Well, it's red, and that's where the comparisons end.
Yeah. It's red and it has a different form of value than footwear. Welcome back to the Dark World. Please acquire your chest and head back to your portal.
Or make a new one at your earliest convenience.
Exactly. And drop in on Magic Bat. Oh, maybe not. We know it's not Magic Bat, but still.
Yeah, that was just the Thieves drop that wasn't very useful.
Yeah, the very less useful Thieves drop. So back to where we dropped off the dwarf. Gary was waiting for his lunch, so we're going to give it to him right now.
A bow!
That's the bow! Okay, important item, but not the one I had in mind.
So that opens up a little bit.
Yeah, it's not on the pedestal anymore, so Palace of Darkness can be cleared.
Yep,
And
Eastern absolutely can be cleared.
Yeah, Frostbite immediately goes right back in, then leaves.
Yeah, realized picked up a small key and not the big key.
Palace of Darkness big key on Armos Knights?
For all we know. Or for all we know, yeah. It could be upstairs, Ganon's tower.
It's starting to seem linear, and yeah, it could be up there. That could be necessary just to go get the last dungeon for all we know. Actually, no, it can't be, because you have to... Well, no, actually, no, you can't. You can do it without the crystals, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Now, if there's anything valuable at the Ganon's tower location, that's a different story, although...
Yes.
I believe, with the layout that we have, it would have to be boots. Those would have to be hidden at the GT location for that to be valuable.
I just realized something. Have we seen Sahasrara yet?
No, we have not seen the Sage.
He seems to like hanging out in Gan's tower. I wonder if he's up there again.
Well, I do believe we've seen most of the item locations in our exploration so far.
So Ultyma is heading over to the digging game location with the dwarf for some reason. Oh no, he's doing the race game with the dwarf. Well, this is a first.
And a good move.
I was gonna say, I don't think he can actually do the game with the dwarf following. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You know, never tried.
Might be worth experimenting just to see. And Ultima was like, oh, that's where that was.
Well, fortunately, Samaria is one of those essential and usually required items that doesn't actually block a lot of location stuff. It blocks the right side of GT naturally, but doesn't actually block as much as you might think for a necessary item.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, this seed, it blocks the big key of Ganon's tower, so there's that. Also, yeah, Frostbite killed some Armos, whatever.
What did you say, box the big key against tower?
Samaria.
No, it doesn't. It's a tower room.
The cane blocks tile room.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's right. Okay,
Yeah.
good call. Yeah, you can't just shove a statue on that switch. That's right.
Now, this you definitely never see. You never see the blacksmith going into T-Rock.
Yeah, this is unusual.
This
I'm
is
surprised
this is an occupational hazard. You shouldn't be here when you're a blacksmith.
I'm surprised he was allowed in. I'm surprised he even
Yeah.
bothered to go in. Kiki wouldn't settle for this.
Now, is he wearing the right safety equipment? Like, this is some hazardous area.
Like, normally I don't think the dwarf will even go up Death Mountain with you, will he?
I haven't tried that one either.
Someone correct me on that if I'm wrong.
I mean, generally speaking, if I have the blacksmith, I'm taking them directly to the blacksmith spot.
Yeah. Take him directly to his home. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200 or 200 rupees.
Does Ultima know where the blacksmith house is?
Yeah, that is being floated in chat right now. We know it's in near the desert. He doesn't. So he's taking the blacksmith on probably the longest world tour this blacksmith is ever going to get. We hope he wanted to see the world. And we have a buddy beam following both of them right now, and he's trying to get away from it because he doesn't want to. He doesn't want the blacksmith to see his softer side. And unfortunately, the blacksmith is the softer side. So the blacksmith will now giggle.
Hey, we saw the blacksmith as a frog earlier.
He usually doesn't get to see our bunny farm, though. I'm sure the blacksmith likes bunnies.
I mean,
there's our swinging gear.
It's commiseration. You had to deal with being a frog. Look what I have to deal with.
So Frostbite is getting Agahnim out of the way after he gets out of this soldier's hitbox, which is very annoying. We're getting blue ball guesses already. I'm just going to say 3, but I'll explain the game a little bit later.
I'm going with 5.
Can the blacksmith go into boss fights? Not that he will hear this wondering.
Can we speak to our tracker for a moment? About how they predicted the boots in Aga Tower's second chest.
Is that where it was?
Can we speak about this?
So, the
Yeah.
pyre is ready, right? The pyre has been built.
So that's rude, partly because it's hilarious, but also you don't really want to do Aga Tower until you have boots.
Pretty much. And the reason for that is mainly because of Lumberjack, but Lumberjack doesn't come into play for this one. But yeah, nonetheless, you want to do it fast.
Yeah, normally it's because of the item on Lumberjack Ledge. In this case, it's because, you know, Ganon is at Lumberjack. But yeah, that's end game. So it's like you wait until you get boots, you wait until the end of the game, and then you worry about it. You do it once you actually have to.
I think he was just running out of ideas for where to go for things, so he decided to see if there was something in here, and boy, look what he found. Bonk
Yeah,
Rocks might have
perfectly
something
reasonable
now.
move.
Bonk Rocks could have something. There's at least 2 of those. There's King's Tomb. So everyone get your guesses on the number of blue balls Agahnim will throw at our runners today. It is numbered from 0 to 15, assuming that he gets all 6 orb hits when all 6 orb hits are available. To explain the boss fight for Agahnim right now, as Ultyma finds the one-sided Turtle Rock, he's going to throw an orb like this, guaranteed hit every time the first shot. Then there's going to be 3 that are 50-50. Receive another orb, or a blue ball like that. 1 blue ball! So after 4 such hits, 2 blue balls! After 4 such attacks, 3 blue balls! He goes into a lightning crescendo like this, and you can't do anything with his lightning crescendo. So we still only have 1 hit, and we're on a perfect run for 15 right now. So if you said 15, you're up. So that was a guaranteed orb. And will I get to do more of my count, boys? 4
Yes.
blue balls! No 15 today. No 12 either, by the looks of it. So that's 4 hits and 4 blue balls.
And this will
be
be
guaranteed 5th hit.
So we just need 1 more?
We could get 3 more blue balls. 5 blue balls! You're up right now. 6
and I'm out.
blue balls!
And it's 6.
And ladies and gentlemen, 6 is your winning number for the day. If you selected that, please choose my lottery numbers this week. Thank you.
Well, it looks like nobody picked 6, so...
Yeah, no one picked 6, so I saved my money this week.
Ultima's almost in the right neighborhood to return the blacksmith. Just needs to flip back to the light world and go down, not up. Down, not up.
Getting colder. Getting colder. I hope he's not going into Kiki's area, because that will possibly get rid of the dwarf. And Frostbite, very happily, now that he has a boost, will collect his cold one.
Yeah, Ultima is getting colder, but Frostbite got very cold indeed.
It's always good to crack open a cold one now and then. Yes, I stole that line. I'm not ashamed.
I mean, it's the commentary community. Yep. We share lines.
Exactly.
Sahasrara.
So, Sahasrara was buried under a grave. He was already dead. Palace of Darkness is a pendant. The green pendant.
And nothing here but info, unfortunately. So yes, this means Fire Rod could be on pedestal.
It is 100% a possibility. If that were to happen, this chat would probably go pretty fiery. Well, we found the map to Ganon's Tower, so at least we can find our way around now. There is that small key at Thieves' Town. Now, of course, Frostbite already had that. He opened that chest.
Yep, and there is our Spike Cave
Which
over
is
at the
in
Bonk
Logic.
Rocks.
It is in Logic, so there you go.
Yep, very doable.
Easily doable at this point. That was a sword! Wow! So you had to have at least one sword to do that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you had to, because to get them into the... Oh, maybe not. You didn't have to complete Agnum's Tower. So that could have still
No.
been your first sword if you were unlucky.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think, do we need it for... No, I don't think we needed it for any of the keys. Because, yeah, Ultima was getting Castle Tower keys before their swords.
Yeah, it was the boost for the second chest. They could have left Agnum's Tower right after. You could have left Agnum's Tower right after that if you wanted to. And done more exploring before doing the wizard. But if you're there, get that.
Yeah, if you're there and have the keys, and both of... Well, no, nobody's going and doing the second chest without having both keys at this point.
Pretty much.
Mushroom had nothing.
Yeah. That is not nothing. That's 20 rupees, good sir. Which is a way of saying nothing, yeah.
Yeah, it's...
So, looking over at Ultima's side, he is continuing to give the dwarf a wonderful tour of the world, taking him to meet King Zora. This will be the dwarf's first-hand experience with scam artists.
Yep, so we can see... We can expect to see in a future seed the blacksmiths ripping us off, having learned from the best.
Yeah, next seed, guarantee you, he's gonna give us a rupee, green rupee. Next seed. Oh, you can do that. I can make money. Oh.
Frostbite, meanwhile, getting up to the Turtle Rock Bridge via the bonk rocks behind Link's house.
Ultima angrily showing his pleasure for the Thieves Town Big Key located on the Zora Ledge. He's delighted. I swear he's delighted. He loves seeing that there, because he knows he can finally progress in a dungeon he's wanted to clear for some time. That absolutely makes him happy. See, he saved and quit. Absolutely happy.
Yeah. The most joyous of reactions. A very gradual save and quit.
Yeah. And he comes out of the checkerboard cave rock very happily.
Ultima was accidentally in the right area.
Too bad he didn't keep looking around there.
Yeah. Gonna go dig it first.
Yeah, I could dig that. Frostbite has decided he's had enough of this and he's going to see what's upstairs in Ganon's Tower. So he wants to open up the pyramid and clear out these chests.
Yep. And again, we know that the drop in the pyramid will take you to the back of escape with those 3 items. The other way to access that is the sewers key, which we haven't seen yet.
Ultima has found the spot.
Huzzah!
The dwarf is finally home. Ladies and gentlemen, the dwarf is finally home.
And now we get our 20 rupees from him and leave him to present the slideshow of photos from this wondrous journey to the blacksmith's friends and family.
That's probably one of the longer slideshows he's ever been able to take. I'm sure he's thrilled. And yeah, there was a comment in chat about taking the blacksmith to fight blind, but unfortunately, because you have to get the maiden, it means that you lose your follower, blacksmith, and then he goes back to where you first picked him up at that point. So you can't actually take him to fight blind. It'd be nice if you could just take him around with you everywhere, but one follower at a time, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe you could in Randomizer, because in that mode you don't have to rescue the maiden blind.
Or if you take the maiden back and then you go get the dwarf later and take him to see blind.
Yeah, I suppose that would work.
That might work. Cost Darkness, so you can't do that as long as Kiki is around, though.
Yep.
In fact, you might not be able to go in there at all with the dwarf, even when Kiki's gone.
All this interesting link to the past science we can do.
Science is so amazing.
Although not as amazing as a silver arrow headshot to a Lamulus.
Such a beautiful thing. No, this is what a beautiful thing is.
Yeah.
Wizrobe torture, that's a beautiful thing. I mean, look how beautiful this is. One shot, bam, 3 down,
Bam.
sword, instant death. That's a beautiful thing when you can do that well. I can't do that well. But then I'm a scrub, so we won't talk about me.
Meh. I still stumble on it periodically.
He did not like his placement of the his timing rather in this room, so he's resetting it. I think he would have made it, but he just wants to be careful, I think. Oh no, he didn't have the fire rod. He realized he would have to do that anyway. So yeah, he had to redo it anyway. And now he's going to take the fall so he can do this quicker. And use the boots. The boots are being used, and he's in the door, and he's probably going to wait for it so he doesn't despawn Ganon's tower. Actually, it just ended, so there you go. Got there just in time. Gonna have to do this the hard way. And try and get around carefully. There he goes. And he's not going to be able to light the last one. Oops. Oh, he did.
Barely.
Oh, he barely made it. Barely made it.
Now we reach, but you can do it.
Now that was using some reach right there. Now he's going to open the chest. We have the Quake Medallion. So guess what? You can now get into Turtle Rock, theoretically. That was just some blueberries in the other chest, which are good because you need to blow a hole in the wall here, but he had a bunch already. Ultyma, by the way, is on his way to get the maid and already blew a hole in the Sunshine Room, from what I believe has happened.
Yeah, that would be the logical course of events.
Yep. 20 rupees in that chest. And push the switch again and again and again. And 2 extra keys, why not? Hi, Moldarm 2. Ouch. Oh, and Ultima's Maiden is a lovely shade of green today.
Yeah, I love when the sprite sheets mess with that. That's Bombos in the ultimate chest. But since this is randomizer, it's not actually ultimate.
That actually opens the location. Ultima is getting bullied by a jelly. I don't know why he doesn't just go through the other door and take the other path. It's a lot safer. He's just tired of this now. Frostbite, meanwhile, is in Triangle Man. Not having a lot of luck with the ball reflections here. It's almost like the original Agahnim fight didn't help him much. So he's up to 3 hits so far. Ultima is informed that he's doing a blind run. That was a double for Frostbite.
Finally got an arrangement.
1.5 hearts. Sorry, go ahead.
I was saying, finally got an arrangement that let him do that.
And he must realize that, yes, the health does not refill after this fight, so he wants to make sure, A, he lives, and B, he lives.
Yeah.
Ultima and Frostbite both finish their fights. Ganon emerges from the wizard's body, is going to open the pyramid location. We're finally going to get to see, ladies and gentlemen, since we don't have the sewer key, we're finally going to get to see what is in the back of the escape. And I am going to take a wager and say the sewer key is back there.
You know what? I'm going to agree with your wager, and I'm going to say nothing else.
Yeah, same. I'm not going to say anything else either. So let's see what is in the back of Escape today after all that. 2 hours and 9 minutes, we're getting the back of Escape.
A map.
For Skull Woods.
10 arrows.
And the big key for
key to
Misery
Mire. Oh, my.
We had to do that.
Now, unless we find the sewer key somewhere that is currently accessible, we had to do that.
Well, it wasn't in the back of the sewer, but I wonder if it will be locked behind the back of the sewer.
Well, there's the big key to Skull Woods over in Swamp.
We have not seen Swamp Palace yet. This is like 9 items. It could be here.
You know, that said, we did get those 2 medallions doing that climb, and those could be valuable. It might be that you need to go into Ice Palace for some reason, and Bombos is before Fire Rod. Who knows?
That guard was being excruciatingly annoying to Frostbite. He had to kill it.
Yeah,
so
that guard knows what he did.
So Ultyma is now on swamp flooding duty. And then he'll take a dip.
Now, Frostbite didn't go over and check out what the normal front door for Turtle Rock would have been, even though they have Quake. But we have seen runners emerge from that, so that is a connector that we have already been through.
Yeah, we don't really care about that anymore.
Yep, we only care about the Mire entryway, because we don't know what that is.
Well, we found the Thieves Town compass, so go start counting items in Thieves Town, ladies and gentlemen. So taking a quick look at our tally, we do have 1 extra dungeon clear for Frostbite, who just got his mirror shield, by the way. Riot shield. The riot can now begin. So the difference of the dungeons is just Eastern Palace for Frostbite. Otherwise, they've done the exact same dungeons so far. This is somewhat linear, not as open as you might otherwise hope. It's been somewhat linear for this kind of scene, which is really amazing if you think about it.
Yeah, Frostbite is also taking care of Aga Tower a bit early. That's where the boots came from. And given the layout, that is a dungeon that the runners are going to have to do. We don't yet know if that Ganon's Tower completion is something that our runners are going to have to do.
Yeah, that could be a case where Frostbite may have lost some time. By the way, we can mark Ganon's Tower as complete on the tracker now for Frostbite. There is an icon for that, I should point out, for our tracker's benefit. So while he has done that, as you said, it may have been a waste of time. We don't know yet.
Yeah, it's very rare to mark off Ganon's Tower while there's still plenty of other dungeons to do.
Yeah, this is unusual. We're not used to this.
Now, if Ultima hits up the left side of Swamp and finds nothing, well, we're pretty used to that.
Yeah, that we're used to. There are some things you get used to over time. I'm also used to there being something of value up here, like, a fire rod.
Yeah. That bottle is helpful, I guess.
Or 300 rupees. That's useful too. That's, again, college fund.
Yeah. Need to, do something with your post-adventuring years.
Yeah, after you save the world, after you save the world, you have to meet friends,
Yeah. Might as well take some time, go back to school, develop new skills.
Get a job as a blacksmith under the dwarf.
Possibly.
Anyway, Frostbite is taking out the Visine boss, as some might call it. Hashtag not sponsored. Wow.
That's the swamp key.
That is the swamp key. You had to go through Ganon's Tower to get to the pyramid, to access the Misery Mire Big Key, to access the sewer key. Ganon's Tower is required, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely, 100%. The only thing that would make this even more epic and even more horrible for these runners would be if we have something like a fire rod on the pedestal. That would be the only thing that would make this more epic and horrible.
No, Chad is pointing out, technically, yes, you could key steal in Hyrule Castle. That would be maybe the boldest key steal.
It would be absolutely the boldest key steal, because you could leave another item behind that key somewhere else.
Well, and more that it's
now the
who
other
does that?
But but here's the way. Before I answer that, let me go this way though. If you know that you're gonna look, if you plan to do that key steal, you check those other chests before you steal the key, and then you just reset. You go back and you steal that key and you use it. You can do it that way too, and then you don't have to do Ganon's Tower. It might take you time to get back up there, but you can skip doing Ganon's Tower by doing it that way. So that would work. But by the logic, I'm just referring to the logic, you have to do Ganon's Tower for the logic to take in Misery Mire. That's required by the logic. You can key steal if you plan carefully so you know you're not leaving items behind.
And of course, we say all this, neither of our runners clearly had that thought at all.
No, I'm just saying it's possible. Yeah, they probably both didn't. Yeah. They don't want to mess with the logic too much, I guess. They don't want to waste the time wandering around, I guess.
Well, there's our fire rod.
Oh, was that a... Oh, so the fire rod courtesy of Argus Fish and Chips, where the fish eat you.
And the fish has eaten our pedestal dreams. We have now seen everything that goes on the tracker.
That is no mode. The pedestal is not required now. Which was likely not going to be the case after what we've already seen in this seed. Any more would be hopes and dreams.
And yeah, we already have all of the necessary big keys for the crystal dungeons. So we're good on keys.
Yeah, we're good to go. Now, what we need is for Ultyma to find a lot of other items before Frostbite finds the fire rod. If that happens, then Ultyma will be back in this race. But as it stands, he is currently way behind. He has to do Castle Tower to get his boots, because he doesn't know the boots are in there. And he has to do Ganon's Tower by logic, because he's already done Hyrule Castle completely otherwise. Mm-hmm. So he has to do Ganon's Tower to get to Misery Mire. At this point, I would say, even in this type of race, he is significantly behind. His only advantage is the fire rod, so the longer Frostbite takes to find that, the more chance Ultyma has.
Well, Frostbite is going into a pendant dungeon, so...
exactly what I was going to get at, yeah. Frostbite's going to start searching these places before going back to Skull Woods. He might even... Swamp Palace. He might have forgot the Swamp Palace still has to be done, too. Because Swamp Palace he can 100% do right now. And if he remembers that, then he should be doing that before coming here.
Well, I mean, he can full clear this as well, including the big chest at this point. And I don't know... Yeah, I don't know what map checks Frostbite has done, because we are using the kind of map knowledge across the two runners. Frostbite might not have seen that this is a pendant dungeon.
Now, it's being suggested in chat that Ultyma will probably go to Ice Palace before going to Tower Room for the big key as well. In Ganon's Tower. So,
yeah.
This is the other reason Ultima's not doing Ganon's Tower yet. He does not know the Ganon's Tower big key is in Tower Room. He's done other rooms in the entire left side Ganon's Tower, and he left. He did not have the King of Samaria when he first went up there. He does now. He could do Tower Room now. But he is probably not going to do that. Like, that one routing blessing, I guess you could say, for Frostbite is going to give him a huge advantage here.
Yeah, blessing is an understatement. Putting all that time into Tile Room, of all things, and then having it pay off so big.
Yeah, like, now that you mention it, yeah, blessing is an understatement. Call it an act of God.
But Ultima is going back to Ganon's tower.
Which is actually the best move he could make.
Yeah.
He's in the
You
area.
have the...
Check tower room. It's one chest. Get out of the way before you do an entire dungeon. Good move.
Well,
Absolutely
and with the...
good move.
And the cane and the fire rod, so this is a full right side.
Yeah, he's ready to check the right side just in case there's something over there. We know there isn't now, but he's ready just in case. And after he still has a lot of items he needs. The bow could be on the right side for all he knows.
Yeah, the bow being on the locked chest, that's a little obnoxious. That pod big key in Ice Palace. Again, I think Frostbite does know that that's just a pendant.
I assume he saw that on the map check. I think he did do a map check, so I'm assuming he saw that.
Either from a map check, I think Frostbite was actually the one who talked to Sahasrahla.
So Ultyma doesn't even do any slashes at that chest after doing the tower room. Just continues on all business at this point. That was our other single green rupee, by the way, in Ice Palace. And say goodbye to the two beautiful freezors in this room. Say hello to 20 bucks.
And hey, there's our last sword.
In the compass room.
Yep. So now Ultima doesn't really have to worry about. Yeah, that's not happening. And Ultima probably won't end up with Buttersword, depending when they get to Spike Cave.
He may not even go to Spike Cave. Because Spike Cave didn't have an item in there. I think it was just...
No, Spike Cave was a sword. The Spike Cave location, I don't remember.
He won't likely do it. Yeah, unless he'll find everything else before going there, probably. I'll probably be wrong, though, so just watch that happen. And Frostbite checking the big chest right now, because why not? But again, for all he knows, that's the fire rod, so can't blame him.
Ultima is coming around this way to hit the big chest, having already done the Ice Armo stuff.
Wah, wah, wah. Yeah, he didn't. I think he was very happy to see that piece of heart. He's not going upstairs.
Not going up. Oh boy.
That's gonna hurt.
You might want to go upstairs.
After you get the big key to Ganon's tower, you just think, you know what? Something's up.
Oh, right, no bow. No bow.
Oh, yeah, you can't go.
Point.
Well, you can get upstairs without the bow, but it probably may be something that he doesn't know how to do yet. It is a glitch.
Yeah. It is a tricky... It is a tricky one.
We had a spoiler log race where the bow was very inconveniently placed, so we actually saw a runner intentionally skip it to show off the glitch. Took him a little while to do the glitch, but we got to see it in that race. So it's in that case, we knew ahead of time we were going to be getting that glitch from someone. It was just kind of nice in that case to know that at the very start of the race. But if you don't know how to do that glitch, you're still looking for that bow, no matter what happens, because that's a really, really hard glitch to perform. So if you're not comfortable with it, you're not going to go on and try and do it.
Now Frostbite is dipping into Pod, having that big key and all the small keys, can finish all of this up and not find the fire rod, because it's not here.
Nope. And for those wondering, where does Frostbite have to go to get his fire rod? Well, I'll tell you. He has to get some fish and chips. Chips are optional. At least get the calamari.
You know, it's been so long since I've had calamari.
I tried it once. It was kind of rubbery.
Yeah, I've had some bad calamari, but I've had some good calamari. So
On the subject of fish, again, for those who do celebrate a happy Easter weekend coming up, Good Friday is the day that everyone eats fish. And I already have a box of fish in my freezer for tomorrow, so I'm all ready.
you know, I do not have nearly enough eggs.
No, I just have frozen ones to put in the oven. Forget eggs. I like fish anyway.
I mean, you gotta do the Easter egg hunt.
Oh, those eggs, yeah.
Yeah, the ones with the candy and the joy.
Someone suggests fish sticks with mac and cheese. I have mac and cheese in the cupboard. I could do that.
Yeah. Frostbite knows they can do pods, so they'll do that. They might... I wonder if Frostbite is thinking pedestal at all.
At this point, I would be surprised. But he... You know what? He might be. This is his third pendant. He might be going to blind pull pedestal.
Yeah.
You raise a very good point. He forgot Swamp Palace and thinks it's on the pedestal. Or he's just gambling with it. I mean, why not? You're already doing 100% seed with both Castle Tower and Agahnim Tower. You might as well do the rest of the dungeons while you're at it, right?
Yeah, it's not the most unreasonable.
Like, the writing's on the wall. It's 100% seed. Might as well just do it. Now, of course, it isn't, because we know he doesn't have to do these dungeons, but he's doing them. And yeah, the question in chat for where the bow was, it is indeed in the purple chest for those joining us late. The purple chest has the bow. Gary's lunchbox was apparently arrows flung into his mouth today, which would really hurt.
Yeah, again, there are dietary questions related to arrows that I really just don't want to ask.
Yeah. Frostbite is definitely doing the pedestal because he went straight to Kakariko. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, get your pedestal hype in chat. We're going to get to see the couch cache on the pedestal today. That lovely big 20 that's going to be hiding up there. We're going to get to pull that. And of course, I'm just guessing that that's what's there because we know it's nothing useful. So it has to be something useless. Could be 10 arrows for all I know. It'd be followed by a thief who really wants the pedestal item as well, I think. Or just a couple bombs. So ladies and gentlemen, here comes the pedestal. Cue the music.
Please.
And you get a master map!
Map!
For a dungeon you've already cleared. Enjoy your piece of paper, sir.
That fabled map of legend. The piece of paper that will bring down the evil tyrant.
Make sure you get a photocopy for future explorers. Photocopies cost 25 cents at the local Kinkos.
Yeah.
Very horrible if you don't have a printer. And Ultyma has his letter D.
Now I'm just imagining that scene from National Treasure where they're stealing the Declaration of Independence, but instead it's the map to Tower of Hera.
Meanwhile, Frostbite gets his 10 arrows from Sahasrara and realizes this is not what he was looking for. Ultima finally accepting his fate and climbing Aghanim's tower, and will... How many rage slashes do you expect on the boots chest?
3?
Get your guesses in chat, everyone.
Will the number of rage slashes be more or fewer than the number of blue balls from Aga?
I'll say fewer. It was 7.
And it's zero
Ooh,
rage slashes.
0 rage slashes.
Ulti is all business.
He has changed to all business at this point. He realized, you know what? This is a terrible seed. I'm just going to accept my fate.
Swamp is at the cave below the Eastern Palace area. Not the one at the pegs, but the one on like the approach. I don't think there's a conventional name for it yet.
For what? Sorry?
For the cave where Swamp happens to be on this seed. A
Where
lot
is
of
that again?
location. That is when you're going towards Eastern Palace. There's that cave kind of along the way. It's that one.
Yeah, I don't know if we have a name for that. I'd have to look. Actually, there's not even anything in that cave normally, so I couldn't even give a name to it.
Exactly.
I think it's a storyteller cave.
I don't know if it doesn't have an item location normally. Randomizer community does not really have a name for it.
I want to say it's a storyteller cave. It is now called Along the Way Cave, according to someone in chat.
I accept this. I second the motion. Motion has passed. I believe that's how Robert's Rules of Order work. You just have to second a thing, and then it's a thing. So I guess Frostbite is going to go all the way back to the Ice Armos that they bailed out of earlier in the run, and see what happens. Going to be mighty disappointed, though. Ultyma breaking out the net. Because
They know
why
the cave
not?
does. They know the cave does have a name somewhere in the spoiler log. I just have never seen a Crossroads Kisanity spoiler log, so I couldn't tell you.
You know, I might actually have some Entrance Randomizer spoiler logs laying around. I could actually look this up.
This could be interesting research. Hi, Bob! Frostbite is going to do these 3 chests he skipped earlier. Bob has teleported.
Bye, Bob.
Can you imagine if Ultyma makes this up?
That would be impressive play, to say the least.
It would be a case where Frostbite got everything early and then it just kind of came to a head. And Ultyma finally started finding everything and found the right path from there. Ultyma now realizes he could have probably climbed Aghanim's tower and checked this area after doing the Aghanim's tower if he did Ganon's tower first. But he is still not thinking about Ganon's tower because he's going to the Witch's Hut, which is Desert Palace. He wants his ice rod.
It is a nice rod.
Yeah, it's a cold one. Gotta crack that open. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee.
Yeah, starting to suspect that Frostbite does not remember where Swamp is.
There are some questions in chat as to the proper pronunciation of the boss of Swamp Palace. The proper pronunciation of the boss of Swamp Palace is Argus.
Yes, you are legally required to be a pirate before you are allowed to say its name.
Yes, you must say it with the trilling R on it. It won't be here.
Yeah, Frostbite is demonstrating the value and power of good note-taking in Entrance Randomizer.
It is absolutely important in this kind of seed that you do that.
I mean, I'm sitting here with a spreadsheet for all the item locations and a notepad for all the locations. Our runners definitely need the latter. The item locations is mostly for your benefit in chat.
Now, he's losing a lot of time trying to find where Swamp Palace is. And I thought he was in there at one point, so he just forgot where it was.
Possibly.
He also needs to finish Skull Woods, and that's Tower Harry. He's already done this. The Ultyma still has 5 dungeons to do. It's just a matter of time for Frostbite till he finds the entrance. But I'm trying to remember if he's at... I know he's seen the back of Skull Woods as well, so
Yeah.
he has seen both locations. He should be all set to finish those, and then it's just a matter of going to where Laser Bridge was, because that was early. I forget the exact location. But then going to Trinex from there. He does have that big key for Trinex. He could at least do that. Frostbite is meditating in the entrance of King's Tomb right now.
Yeah, the thing here for Frostbite is you have to do that in that order. You have to do Swamp Palace first. So even though you know where Turtle Rock is, you know where Mothula is, doesn't help you yet. You gotta get to Swamp.
So I'm getting some comments in the SRL channel right now between the two runners. It looks like Frostbite's pause there was to review his VOD on his channel. That is allowed, by the way. You are allowed to look at your own VOD if you need to to get some information that you may have forgotten. That is allowed. And then after Frostbite mentioned his apologies for any sound leaking through, Ultyma noted this seed sucks. So we know their opinions on the seed.
Yep. Of course, the runners are not allowed to look at each other's.
Correct.
Nor are they allowed to look at the restream.
That mini Helmasar King is an MVP. He got a nice push there. That's along the line of the Stalfos and Gaia's Tower, who just jumped and landed on top of Runner and pushed him in the pit.
The back of Skullwoods is the Bombable Hut in Kakariko.
Frostbite is now over in the Palace of Darkness area, going through that portal.
Yeah. Again, right area, wrong world.
Yeah, he is near what we've now anointed along the way cave in chat. He might be heading over to that right now, actually.
Yeah. That's dark along the way.
That's the incorrect along the way. But he wanted to make sure he got both possible checks at once instead of having to come back. So he went to the Dark World and checked it first. He is now in Swamp Palace.
Huzzah!
And celebrating with many sword slashes. I think that was higher than the number of blue balls that Agahnim threw today.
Certainly in the vicinity. A good question is, where is Ultyma going to go next? There are still bonk locations that they haven't checked, and they have the 5-6 crystals. So
yeah, they
could try to dip into the Pyramid Fairy location.
They know where the bomb... Actually, yeah, the Pyramid Fairy location. We know where the bomb shop is. It's just a matter of finding the big bomb and getting it to the pyramid. That's the only challenge. Sounds easy, right?
I mean, the bomb shop is at Eastern, so it's not nearly as hard as it otherwise could have been.
Yeah, sounds easy, right? You have to get back to the Dark World with that thing.
Yeah.
I guess that's a portal.
Yeah, just plop a portal, hit Eastern, jump back into the portal. It's smooth. Certainly far better than the bomb shop being up on Death Mountain.
Smooth. So Frostbite getting another useless circle. Now it's not going to be long before he stops opening chests. That one is not going to be on his mind. He is doing a good play here in my mind, and I'm going to explain why I like this play. He's not doing the left side right now. He knows he has to beat Argus anyway. So he's going to do everything here, and then if he does not find what he's looking for, he will come back in and do the left side at that point. We know he will not have to do that because he will find what he is looking for on the boss.
And Ultima does end up with the butter. So, another thing to go smoothly.
That does make things smoother, yes. Butter is very smooth.
Indeed.
Yeah, our tracker is almost full today. That's going to be a 100% tracker when Frostbite's done.
Yep.
Didn't
Well,
know we were
except for
gonna
the.
get a-
Oh no, we
ahead.
do get the swamp big key from doing Skull Woods, don't we? Or from T-Rock? One of
Something
those.
like that. But nonetheless, everything's going to be lit up is what the point is.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know we were going to get a 100% seed today. So it's time for Frostbite to face Argus by taking all the Argai off of its body with the hook shot, and then slashing them with the sword. And when there are no more Argai on the body, the Argus will start jumping in the air and trying to stomp on you, and then do funny things around the room if he's allowed to do so, like that. But Argus is down, and Frostbite has gotten his fire rod, and at 2 hours, 42 minutes, and 38 seconds, Frostbite3030, I believe, is in go mode.
Looking at the item collection and the key collection, it is very much a go.
Do you remember when the silver arrows were? We have that question in chat.
The silvers were at the Bombos tablet, yes.
Ah, yes.
Ultima, less likely to end up hitting that, but with Butter Sword, doing a silverless Ganon, not a huge fuss.
Yeah. So Frostbite just gonna zip to the back of Turtle Rock now. Ah, well, okay.
Helmasaur MVP!
A little bit of a delay. That mini Helmasaur is just very good today. It's very skilled. They put a good one there. Rando, please. And it got in the way of the switch. Oh, that's beautiful.
They picked well in the draft this season.
Yeah, they did well.
But Frostbite will have no problem taking down Trinex. And will be one crystal shy of heading to the Big Pig. As Ultima is heading into Ice Palace.
Yeah, this is...
Yeah.
He's already behind, but this is the race right here, I think.
I'd say it, but yeah. This is... Ultima cannot afford to lose any more time, and this is a time loss.
It would cost him too much time to climb Ganon's tower now, and he still has to do that to get to Misery Mire by going to the back of Escape. So, yeah. Not doing that now takes away any potential chance he could have had to win this race. I'd say Frostbite is definitely in a position to win right now, as long as he remembers where Skullwoods is. What was that on Ultima's screen?
I missed it.
I just saw a baby ball fly across. Was there an alert left on? Well, Hydration Bot might have done something on his stream.
Well, all right.
If you said you missed, I think someone said he's clipping it, so you're going to get a chance to see it.
Yeah, usually our runners are pretty solid about remembering to turn off alerts and what have you when they're being restreamed, but not always, and sometimes to comedic effect.
Oh yeah, sometimes it's really comedic.
I think several of us who do commentary specifically on the dailies have that particular Naruto sound in our heads.
I think I'm lucky to not have that one yet. The one that I remember is the fighting robot Mega Man.
It's never a problem, really. It's just hilarious when it comes out of nowhere.
Obviously, we prefer alerts to be off. It's just it is funny when they come across. So Frostbite has now collected his 7th crystal. Now it's worth noting that the mode of the race is crystals. You don't have to do the petted dungeons. You don't have to do Aghanim's Tower. You don't have to do Ganon's Tower. But for logic, we had to do Aghanim's Tower. We had to do Ganon's Tower, and Frostbite thought the pedestal had the item. So he has 100%ed all dungeons this seed, and is still going to win this race with an all dungeons performance.
That is some incredibly solid running and incredibly solid routing. A lot of the ability to do that just came from doing things concisely.
So all Frostbite has to do now is run into a tree, and boom, and hi Ganon, what's it like in here? Join me here, and I shall make your power the greatest in the Dark World. No, thank you.
No, our power in the Light World is pretty good.
Yeah, I like it. And thank you, Captain MD, for that clip. I will be putting that in my list later.
Frostbite already onto phase 3 of the Ganon fight.
This is what I like to call temper tantrum mode.
Oh, I get it, because Frostbite has the tier 3 sword. It's the temper tantrum.
No, I mean because he stomps the ground like a baby. Did you find the silver arrows at a monument? Yes, I did. Want to try one?
Cyclone, that's what we call a pun.
I know, I get it. Question chat, when the silver arrow clues get so specific? They do in Crossroads Key Sanity, because it's already a complex mode, so basically they tell you where to go to find the silver arrow. Meanwhile, Frostbite has put his 4th silver arrow in the pig, and has completed the quest. He is now crossing the finish line, and he has an official SRL time of let's see,
it
2
is
hours, 49 minutes, and 13 seconds. Get your GGs in chat. Ultyma at this time is still going, so has not turned in yet. But I have a feeling because he still does not know he has to go to Ganon's Tower for Misery Mire access, I have a feeling it may not be long.
Yeah, this is the kind of moment that, if you're already frustrated and you see that you've lost the race, you kind of just call it a night.
Yeah. By the way, we've entered the domination of Dr. Wily on Frostbite's side, apparently.
Yeah,
Didn't know Dr. Wily and Mega Man were in this game, but they are. Actually, Mega Man is in this game. You can play as a sprite if you choose to.
Yeah, there's quite the collection of sprites.
Yeah, great collection. I actually played as Kirby last week.
All right, and with all of that, we do have Frostbite3030 around for a post-run interview. Frostbite, GG.
GG, sir.
GG's, I guess. What a mess I made of that one. Thank you. I don't know. I have a list of 4 things I'd really like back. Not skipping Zelda's Cell. I really thought about it. You could see I kind of twitched out when I made the choice about whether I wanted to burn that Hyrule Castle key there or not, and it would have saved you from having to do the Ganon Tower climb.
Exactly, I mentioned that.
But in the end, because I forgot to mark Swamp Palace on my tracker, I did everything I thought I could. I did, and I couldn't remember if I'd seen it. I'm really sick, and I was really worried about this race because I'd been mistracking in my practicing because my brain's just not really working, and I couldn't remember if I'd seen it or not. So I decided I'd rather keep going forwards. And then when I finally went back to GT for, I believe, the 4th time, and it wasn't behind Ice Armos, I was really, really worried because I knew I'd seen Swamp Palace at that point, and I had to find it. So I'm pulling out my VOD, and at the same time as I'm watching my VOD back at 2 times speed, I'm basically just checking all of the bulk spots I thought I could where I thought it might be, and I got kind of lucky and ran into it. But the other things I regret are Mire 2. I regret that both times I went through Mire. It was atrocious. And then dying to Ice Armos, although, as I said to my teammate Megawatt, I was just chatting with him quickly afterwards, I had a really bad coughing, sneezing fit starting about halfway through Ganon's Tower. So, like, I was mad that I died to Ice Armos, but I should have just paused it and like blown my nose and cleaned up. And that's kind of why I went to the Hera basement when I did, is because I ran downstairs, grabbed some cold medication, blew my nose, got back into the game. But no, it was like, I don't know how much extra time I had in the seat. 40 minutes probably, because I didn't go to Swamp Palace because getting that fire rod was the only thing I was looking for. It was for an hour I was only looking for the fire rod.
I just want to say I don't know very many runners who have used coffee break to actually like go do something else.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's one of those things you're probably going to check it eventually, but yeah, I mean, I think it was the right call. I played a lot better after that, and I was really frustrated at the end of the race. And you know, I'm not normally a person that has the IRC up, but I had it up at about the 2:20 mark, seeing if Ultyma had finished, because I figure I would have been done by 10 minutes at that point if I hadn't have screwed up. And so I was looking so I could forfeit, and he hadn't finished. And then I pulled up my VOD, and then I'm like, oh my god, what a nightmare! That's, you know, when you're pulling up your own VOD in an entrance race, that something horrible has gone wrong. As I said to my teammates, like, the only thing I don't want to do is forget an entrance, and it's of course what I went and did. So I mean, I'm happy for the win. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that does maybe guarantee us a playoff spot going forward now.
I think you're right.
But I'm not entirely happy with the outcome. I feel like I got really lucky with the opening routing. I mean, I ran into the Moon Pearl pretty early. I ran into the Hammer pretty early. I ran into GT, I think, about as early as you possibly could have. And I got everything that you needed out of it on my first time in there, which was, I think, basically love. And then it just all went bad when I marked my tracker wrong.
Well, I feel like that is the single biggest hazard with the cross keys runs, is just mistracking something. So good show on overcoming that and taking the win.
Thank you. I agree. I think there's a couple things, like there's the weird one-off situations, like hook-shotting backwards through Bumper Cave that'll stump you first time if you don't know about it, and you know, sort of things with Paradox Cave where you might have to walk through it in the dark and then go out in the light and then walk back in it to get something like the Moon Pearl out of it. So there's always those little weird one-off things, but I feel like I'd really never played Entrance before the league, and basically we decided that Megawatt and I were going to run the Entrance week and give Jet the week off. So I've been really grinding them out as much as I can with I know a bunch of other people like Lynn and I know Goomba, he's pretty good at Entrance already, but we've been doing a lot of daytime Entrance practice, and it's gotten a lot better. I'm really addicted to the mode. It's obviously way different in that it's sort of a super folklore. Like my collection rate in this seed is 195 out of 216. Now a lot of that self-inflicted again.
Yeah, you're seeing that ahead of us.
Yeah, but well, I mean, I got the spoiler. I'm 10 minutes.
Yeah,
yeah, you're 10 minutes. Yeah, exactly.
But sorry guys,
bless you
here again. But no, it's once like for me the barrier was tracking, and I didn't like any of the trackers that were out there. And then actually it was P-Train. He showed me how he tracked it using the CES tracker, and I basically stole his system.
I'm gonna interrupt here. For a second. Sorry, I was watching to see what would happen because I already had a hint that it was going to be happening. But Ultyma just did one of those tricks to dupe the Meyer crystal. As you see, he just grabbed the crystal in the
Nice.
So needless to say, he just wanted to finish the scene and go to bed. He didn't want to climb Ganon's tower. He's too tired to interview anyway. So he won't be joining us anyway, but he just wanted to finish the scene and go to bed. So he just duped into the wall and got the crystal, and see you later. He has 7 crystals. He's off to the big pig.
Nice.
That does count officially as a forfeit. He did forfeit in the SRL channel, so it is all legal. He's just doing this for fun now to basically call it a night.
Swag. Well,
now there's moon pearls all over the place on his screen. I don't know what's going on there. I'm clueless.
No, I think he got stumped the same thing I did. He burned the Hyrule Castle key at Zelda.
Yep.
It ended up killing him. Yeah.
Yeah, you were mentioning that in chat. He just wants to finish this and go to bed. He doesn't want to spend 5 more minutes at Agahnim's tower climbing it just to go do it legally when he's already lost. That's what his concern is. Nice. So,
no, that's awesome.
Let's go ahead and turn his audio back on. We'll at least watch this Ganon fight here, and then we can put the forfeit back up after, I think.
Yeah, and I apologize if I think my VOD started playing some commercials at one point. I apologize if that leaked through to the stream.
I didn't notice it. I may just
honestly, the same.
Well, I stopped it as quickly as I could. It was right at the end after I got through Skullwoods.
So I've got to head and turn the audio back on so we can just follow Ultima's Ganon fight, but it is going to be a forfeit, obviously, when he finishes. So.
Where was the gold sword? Was that on the left side of Swamp?
No, the last sword was
Ganon's tower.
Ganon's tower basement, compass room.
Oh yeah, well I guess that's the 5 chests or the 4 chests I never checked. Yeah, that's the funny thing about entrances. I could probably go back and tell you every single spot I skipped because just looking at my count and knowing the ones I didn't check.
So Ultimate did not get the torch clearance. Again, this is just for fun now. He did do the dupe on the Meyer boss, so he already got the crystal legally, but we'll just follow the finish because he did put a good run in the seed. Again, make sure you follow both the runners too. They did go through this horrible seed for your entertainment.
The Hyrule Castle key was on Vitreous, and the Meyer big key was in the back. So if you didn't skip Zelda's Cell, there was no chance you weren't doing that Ganon's tower climb.
Yeah, that was absolutely required by the logic. The logic doesn't assume you're going to skip that cell. It assumes you're going to check that. So by the logic, it was absolutely required. 100%.
Exactly. Yeah, and so was Ice Palace was required because I think there was... maybe I can't remember, but I was really surprised there wasn't anything in Pod because I had those 6 Pod Swalkies very early. And then, I mean, I think there might have been something in there early, but there was
the hook shot in there.
Oh, that's right. I grabbed that in the car.
Ultima, what are you doing? Okay, we'll just mark the forfeit. Now, he's obviously didn't want to cross the line knowing that he cheated. So I'll put the forfeit back in now. I like the stylish. I like the stylish finish, though. So anyway, any last thoughts you have on the race tonight?
No, just to continue my thought when Ultima started pulling his shenanigans. If you've tried Entrance and you think that like the tracking is the stumbling block, reach out to us. We play a lot of it, and I think a lot of the people have figured out a good system using the CES tracker with all the doors marked on it as a pre-made save file. And honestly, like when I was doing other systems before this, I couldn't sub 330, and now this is probably the slowest time I've had in a month. Just everyone, once you get that tracking down, says the guy who couldn't do it properly during the race, it went from being like a slog to actually sort of being my favorite mode that I look forward to racing now more than anything else. So anyways, just thanks for the call, Hupfin and Cyclone. I know it was a bit of a longer one today. Sorry about that one, but I'm sure you guys did a great job, and I'm going to watch back and read the chat of, I'm sure, Megawatt and Goomba and all my friends trashing me for being so dumb, and then it'll be a great time. And thanks for Ide for tracking, and for everyone else for putting this on. It's always been a blast, and yeah, looking forward to sitting back next week and watching Jet and Megawatt take on, I believe they're playing Korek and Gem, so that should be some great matches, and then looking forward to the playoffs after that.
Yeah, because your team is, I believe, mathematically in. So have fun with the playoffs.
And then, I was just gonna ask if you were looking forward, how you're looking forward to the playoffs. I don't even know what kind of seed types are in the playoffs yet. But
as far as I know, it's like you have an ABC player, and A plays open, B plays standard, C plays some sort of random modes.
Okay.
And so I'm the B player on our team, so I'm looking at some standards. So probably going to grind out a bunch of standard openings and other things like that. But no, it's been like 5 weeks since I actually read what that was, but I remember something about that when we submitted our team information. So yeah, no, I'm super looking forward to the playoffs. I like these 1v1s, right? Because when you race the dailies and stuff on the regular basis, you get 30 people in it. And most of those people are pretty dang good runners, and if you don't hit a really good route, it can be really demoralizing when you think you played really well and finished 11th or whatever, right? And the 1v1s are a different animal because your opponent is just as likely to not god route it as you are. Whereas in a big race, someone's going to hit the right choices, and it's just been a fun twist. This is sort of the first. I guess I played in the Challenge Cup, but this is sort of the first time I've done the 1v1s on Restream and whatnot. And it's been super fun.
Yeah, it's fun seeing something like this for a change too in this format, because it's kind of seed you normally wouldn't expect to see in a race, and seeing a whole week of this and seeing different runners who normally aren't used to this type of mode trying to do this mode. It's actually kind of fun seeing how different players handle this mode, and it's a way to learn from each other too. Everyone's going to do different things. That's a way to learn from each other, and maybe more people will be more comfortable with this mode. We might see more of this mode in the future. So it's going to be very interesting to see. Maybe we'll have a tournament in this mode someday as well, for all we know. Who knows?
That sounds awesome.
So we'll see what happens in the future. Obviously, it has nothing to do with today. Neither here nor there. Let's just cover some other races that are going to be coming up on the channels starting tomorrow. Again, this Easter weekend does have some races going on here. We do have a race at 7 p.m. tomorrow, now it's tonight on the East Coast, but technically tomorrow night, Friday night, at 7 p.m. ETM from the Titans Myths versus Shisami from Team Kappa. Get Kappa's in chat if you want to support him. And a number of races on Saturday. Saturday has 3 races I see on the schedule right now. There could be more by the end of tomorrow. We don't know yet. But Hitsuyan 1337 from Team Awesome versus Sir Linkalot 777 from Lions Bandoliers. 1UP40 from Team Kappa versus Dante from the Titans Mitts. So the other matchup from following tomorrow. And then the second Team Awesome Lions Bandoliers is later in the day. That's at 7:30 p.m. The Lane versus Ursula 4115. That looks like that will end the Crossroad Key Sandy week, actually, so there probably won't be any more races tomorrow or Saturday after that. That ends the Crossroad Key Sandy, and then we go the following week into the standard mode to finish up the round robin before we get to the playoff segments. So there you go. Those are your 4 races that are on for the weekend. 7 o'clock Friday, 2 at 4 o'clock on Saturday, and 1 at 7:30 on Saturday. All right there, one after each other. So keep your eyes out for those races, and make sure you come back for those races.
And just to add, those will be across all of the Speed Gaming channels. So if you want to get notified when those races appear, you'll want to be following all of those channels, Speed Gaming, and then Speed Gaming 2 through 6.
Exactly. So just to cover some other events coming on over the day tomorrow. I know in a lot of places, a lot of stores in Canada and the U.S. are closed for Friday because of the Easter weekend. So it's going to be a day off for a lot of people. Settle up, come for some Speed Gaming action tomorrow. New Super Mario Brothers Wii at 11:30 in the morning. That's probably going to be on Speed Gaming 1 because I see no other events on the channels anywhere at that time, so I'll probably be on the main channel. We do have some Super Metroid Randomizer League semifinal action going on, some Link to the Past Randomizer daily race. Daily races are still on tomorrow. There's an open all dungeons going on at 2 o'clock tomorrow. Some Super Metroid Prodigy, Final Fantasy 1 Randomizer, some Spoiler Log tournament action, and more going on tomorrow. Zelda 1 Randomizers on the schedule as well. So make sure you come by for all of that tomorrow. Speedgaming.org/schedule or type !schedule in the live chat for more information on the schedule. And with that said, follow Speed Gaming 2 through 6. Again, make sure you follow the runners. They went through this horrible Sea of the Entertainment today. We'll get their links in chat one more time. And make sure you also follow our tracker. I might be pronouncing this wrong. Aide, A-E-I-D-E. That's our tracker today who clicked all the buttons and kept us up to date behind the scenes. Aide, he says it is. Okay, that works for me. And make sure you follow my co-commentator, Radio Hupman, as well.
Yep, and the same to you, Cyclone. Thank you for helping with the commentary. Thank you, Aid, for the tracking, and thank you everybody for watching.
Yes, thank you everyone for watching. If it wasn't for you, we would just be sitting here talking to ourselves. Can't do this without you all watching as well. Thank you for watching, and thank you for coming out and being supportive of the Link to the Past Randomizer community race after race. We love having you here. We hope to see you for the next one. Until next time, I am Cyclone or Cyclone GU. May not all your seeds be ped seeds. Have a good night.